People of the internet, welcome to Modern Day Debate. Tonight we are debating the flat earth and we are starting right now. I am your host Kaz of the Atheist Edge, and joining me tonight is TJump, Amy Newman, Flaterday Saints, and Nathan Thomson. Nathan Thomson. Yes, I'm sorry. Right, yeah. Anyways, tonight they will have 12 minutes of opening statements for each team, split between them, 6 minutes each person, 60 minutes of open discussion, and then 35 minutes of Q&A. We will begin with the round earthers. So TJump will go first. TJump, at your first word, I will begin your clock.
We've been to space. We can literally see the world is round. I don't know why they don't believe NASA. Conclusion.
All right, TJump, thank you so much. And Amy, at your first word, I will begin your clock.
Woo-hoo, thank you. Hello, everyone. My name is Amy Newman. You can find me at youtube.com/Amy Newman, where I do comedy with my co-host, James W., as I am a comedian, counter-apologist, and academic with degrees in graphic design, game development, visual effects, education, and information technology. I tend to take a Socratic method in these sort of topics because I think that's how we truly get to know someone's viewpoint. Speaking of which, flat earth on trial, because the earth is innocent of being flat. Yet on charges of being round, the jury finds our planet thick. That is to say, a globe, or specifically an ellipsoid sphere with slightly squished poles and a bulge at the equator. Isaac Newton was one of the first to make this prediction because of the Earth's rotation, along with his theory of gravity, which answers the question, why do massive objects get round? Like our moon, the stars, and yes, every planet, including our own. Well, gravity is constantly pushing everything inwards from all sides. Kinky. If the Earth was flat or a disk, gravity would change as you move towards the edge. Sure, at the center, you would feel a downward pull, but as you move away from that center towards the edge, gravity would be pushing us from other sides. Someone could throw a baseball on a level ground, then it would fall backwards. Though many natural philosophers knew about the shape of the earth being round thousands of years ago. The ancient Greeks, like Eratosthenes, who found out by recording shadows directly at noon, with one tower being directly overhead, casting no shadow in the city. Then in another city at the same time, shadows casting at angles, as if they were moving differently at the same time. Something only possible on a globe, which would become useful as we implement time zones, since on a spinning round Earth, we produce a single rotation or a day-night cycle, with some of the people on Earth having day and others having night. Gradually, which is another way that we know the world is round, because sailors have circumnavigated the planet, sailing across the globe, which is now possible in the form of an economic flight, as pilots have flown across the world only to come back on the other side, something that is only possible on a round Earth. Now, one could presume that a flat Earth debate is about science. It's not. The vast consensus of scientists say the world is round. So then, what are we talking about? Really, we're discussing epistemology, a fancy word for how do we know what we know. And if the answer is only personal experience, then science is out the door. Because the entire process of science is trying to weed out our own personal bias by putting forth experimentations, collecting data, then inviting others to do the same by publishing one's methodology along with the results in a peer-reviewed journal. What we're actually talking about is a theory versus a conspiracy theory, a mindset that is driven to presuppose nefarious powers on grand scales for which they have little evidence for. In their worldview, it's actually the scientists in cohorts with sinister political forces to control our minds. Flat earthers share a lot with young earth creationists who say they are skeptical of evolution, the Big Bang, or the Earth being 4.5 billion years old. However, when we ask them for a model or really any logistical questions on how a young or flat Earth would operate, they will quickly talk about something else or plead a fox skepticism. And while I don't know is often the correct answer, especially when we don't know something, if you're going to disagree with all of the data that scientists gather, you once again may be a conspiracy theorist. And I don't want to use ad hominems, a fancy way of me trying to insult their personalities. However, I find this complaint mostly comes from the conspiracy theorists themselves. But more on that in a second. And I quote from the article, differential susceptibility to misleading flat earth arguments on YouTube. YouTube has been influential in propagating flat earth ideology, but not everyone is equally susceptible to the effects of watching these videos. In an experiment with a participant pool restricted to regular YouTube users, we found that lower science intelligence and higher conspiracy mentality increase individuals' susceptibility to flat earth arguments on YouTube. In fact, these two dispositional variables interact, whereas people with lower conspiracy mentality do not find arguments compelling at any level of science intelligence. Among those with a higher conspiracy mentality, perception of argument strength decreases as science intelligence increases. End quote. And fundamentalist religious thinking and conspiracy thinking share a lot in common. It's them versus mainstream science. Though they're not publishing papers, they're not writing in journals, they can't answer any question when it comes to their worldview on any logistical, experimental, and predictable way. So what we normally get are words of projection. How many cartoons do we have to watch of your round earth religion from your globe priest? The hoax and fairy tale is that it's being spread by, science. Sorry, but no. Thanks for using those words in a negative manner. That's one step in the right direction. But when it comes to a flat earth on trial, a scientific theory will always be a conspiracy theory. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Amy. And with that, we will kick it over to our flat earthers. So I believe, Nathan, you said you wanted to go first. So with your first word, I will start your 6-minute clock.
Great. I want to thank the channel Modern Day Debate for hosting. I want to thank the people I'm debating and my partner here, Flaterday Saints, who I've spent some time with in Ventura, California. He's a brother for sure. Great host. It was great spending some time with you.
Thank you.
Also, I want to thank the guests or everyone listening to the debate too, because hopefully I can impart some knowledge or some wisdom on you about the flat earth. The truth really is incontrovertible. Malice will attack it. Ignorance will try and deride it. But in the end, there it is. And I always say you can lead a globe earther to flat water, but you cannot make them think critically about the shape of the earth. Now, if you don't know who I am, I used to run the largest flat earth group in human history. We had 155,000 members. We did not allow cursing or insults. And still our group got deleted. I've done over 300 flat earth meetups. I think I hold the record for meeting the most flat earthers. They're honestly great people, very intelligent. I've been at flat earth debates where we had 2 PhDs in the same room both of them were flat earthers. So to think that, oh, we just didn't go to school or we just reject everything we're taught, that's not the case. Flat earth is about testing earth yourself and holding fast to that which is true. So on top of having the group deleted, I've also been censored. My Instagram was deleted, around 12,000 followers. My YouTube was deleted, around 17,000 subscribers. I've been kicked off Skype. I've been kicked off Venmo. I lost my Yahoo account with my email. I've been kicked off Tinder, and my personal Facebook page has been blocked for 30 days, approximately 50 times. So I spend more time blocked than I do actually on social media. Why is that? Well, let's get right into it. I've got a speech. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here. Share screen. Share. And I've got a thumb drive here. We've been collecting data for 3 years to get on this, full of books. Here's some of the authors that are on the thumb drive. These are all authors. And then, like, let's say you click on someone like Samuel Rowbotham, it's going to have all the literature he's done about flat Earth. And we've also got videos on here, about 1,000 memes. And what I'm going to get into is my keynote speech. So give that a second to load real quick, guys. All right, warning. This presentation contains content that some people may find disturbing. No one's asking you to believe what you're being told without questioning it, but at least hear me out. Also, search the scriptures if you're a Christian, and do your own research and experiments. Okay, the most important. First off, does the earth spin? Okay, take a poll. Most people will agree that the earth spins. They'll say it's the cause of day and night. That would necessitate on a ball 24,901 miles around, that at the equator, it's moving 1,039 miles an hour. What would the spinning earth do to our atmosphere? How would it affect it? Would it cause it to rotate as one cohesive, synchronized body? Or would it rotate as if a giant blender? First, let's look at it moving as one cohesive body. The problem with this, not only is this not what mainstream science teaches, but you would actually have the higher layers traveling faster to keep up with the surface of Earth. What natural force could do this? There isn't one. A column of air will not move as one cohesive body as a result of moving your hand back and forth through the air, or as a result of the Earth spinning 1,000 miles an hour. That doesn't happen. So, moving on to the next one. Earth acting as a giant blender. The atmospheric blender. So, this is an indisputable law of fluid dynamics, ladies and gentlemen. There would be what's called a Coriolis effect, where hot air balloons, helicopters, drones would all experience the Earth moving under them. And it would move faster towards Earth's surface, the air, and then it would get slower and slower as it gets higher in altitude. This doesn't happen, okay? That's why there's also no videos of the Earth spinning from space, because the Earth is stationary. Now, next, I want to talk about the vacuum of space. Could the atmosphere even exist without a physical barrier around it? I don't think so. Okay, all gases need to be contained. You can check NASA's website; they admit that on there. So, for example, it's like asking, could a tire rim have air pressure around it without a tire? Thanks very much, moderator. No, it could not. It simply couldn't. You would have to have a tire there to have air pressure around a tire rim. Gravity can hold the atmosphere to Earth when a stronger force is pulling on it from the outside. Now, since I'm short on time, I'm going to skip right to some flat Earth information. Here we've got about 6 lighthouses, should be obscured by 329 feet. This one should be obscured by 777 feet, should be obscured by 1,429 feet, obscured by 667 feet, 987, 2,047 feet. Then you've got the world record photograph. This wasn't even taken by a flat earther. This is just some camera nerd wanted to see how far his camera could shoot. 275 miles. That's 50,416 feet of missing Earth curve. let's look at the world record for the longest microwave link distance. We're talking 225 kilometers.
That's 6 minutes.
Great. 1 second. I'm going to go into Drew's time real quick. And then that would equal 2.6 miles of Earth curve that you're seeing through. And these microwave have Fresnel zones, which means the waves travel up and down. They have to completely clear the Fresnel zone with these microwave repeaters. I'm going to go ahead and pass it over to Drew. Thanks for a little bit of extra time there, Drew. Go ahead, buddy.
All right, thank you. So this is just an introduction. I'm not going to try to debate with what Amy said right now, I guess. So I'm just going to start off and give a couple things that, to me, as a human being, from the time I was born, would lead me to believe that Earth, obviously, it's not flat like a countertop. You know, it has inclines and declines and mountains and whatnot. But for the most part, it appears to be level and stationary. That's from what I've witnessed growing up. So the first thing is we see no curvature anywhere. Like I said, there's curvature going down and up as far as like mountains and valleys. But for the most part, when I look at the ocean or anywhere really, train tracks for the most part is flat as far as I could see. So to me, the globe isn't real because I don't experience it for myself. So the second thing is I don't feel any movement or spin. Nobody can truthfully, unless they're insane, say that they feel the spin of the Earth. Third, the sun and the moon appear to be the same size. When the sun and the moon are at their largest is when they're rising and they're setting. That's also when they're at their least brightest, just like a flashlight shine on a wall. When they're smaller, like high noon, the moon and the sun are a lot brighter, just like a flashlight. You could do that experiment on a wall. TJump could fill you in on that. The fourth thing would be the only time you've been taught in school that something that's in contradiction to what they're currently teaching at that moment is thought to be of stupidity or something that's ignorant. But I clearly remember that when I was taught the globe, I was also taught how stupid flat earthers were, and they laugh and everything at school. So that brings me to my fifth point, which is Santa Claus. You can rearrange the letters. It says St. Lucas. That's not even relevant. It's basically the first lie that we're taught that I can remember in my mind. So you learn about Santa Claus, right? A few years you learn about Santa Claus. At the same time, you're being told that it's bad to lie. You're getting told by a lie by the people you trust the most, right? So you learn about Santa Claus, and then right around the time when you start first grade, when they start indoctrinating you with the globe, telling you how dumb flat earthers are, you start learning that Santa Claus isn't real. So it's that perfect transition switch, and I think they got it down to a T. The perfect age and the perfect environment, everything for kids to be indoctrinated in this. They got it down to a T. I give them mad props. So that's the first remembered lie. But at the same time, we're all told that we shouldn't tell lies, but we're lied to about that, right? Anybody that I've talked to about flat Earth before, their first reaction is like mine. Like, I don't even want to debate this. This is ridiculous. I don't even have time for this shit. You know, my chick came to me one day and she told me she thinks the Earth is flat. Dude, I'm like, dude, seriously, get away from me. I don't even want to talk about it. Not to mention the even more horrible things they do when children are born. They circumcise them. They say that doesn't hurt the child screaming. It's probably, built right into his memory bank on that for being traumatized. X-rays to a pregnant woman, sonograms, trying to find out what sex it is. If God wanted you, or if the super creator wanted you to know what sex your baby was, he would have made women's stomachs transparent, bro. Besides that, I'm gonna go back to what Amy was saying, but not right now. So how much time do I have left? Okay.
2 minutes and 30 seconds.
Okay, cool. Okay, well then I will get into it. Okay, so Amy says a theory versus a conspiracy theory. Well, obviously, a theory is going to be more believable than a conspiracy theory, right? Because why would people with billions of dollars try to conspire against useless goyim, right? And she kept saying that the Earth has to be round. Well, what if would a coin have to be round, or could a coin be a different shape? It's a rhetorical question. I just want to touch on the word science real quick. So the word science comes from scientia, which was the name of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil in the Garden of Eden, which Eve ate from. So yeah, that word to me is used for describing the science of like knowing how to control diseases, the science of like global warming, and the science of space and all this other stuff. So the word science is so generally used now. It sounds like people use it more than like Jesus or the devil even. Science, like trust the science. How can I trust something that doesn't even have a heartbeat or a brain? Something that's not even flesh and blood. I'm not going to trust that. You know what I mean? I'm done.
Hey, real quick, you got a minute left. I just want to touch on
Go ahead,
Amy
bro. I
said,
knew you wanted to talk.
Amy said we circumnavigated, so that proves it's a globe. I don't know. I go on walks every day with my dog where I circumnavigate the block, and I end up right where I started. I guess that only works because the block I live on is a ball. And actually, sailors used to use celestial navigation, which is basically figuring out where they are using the stars. And I've taken video of Stonehenge before it was demolished. It's called astroarchaeology. It's lining up megalithic structures to the sky. It's also evident in the pyramids, but the sky is a map and a clock. That's why we have 88 constellations. They're fixed in the sky. The sky is a repeating pattern. It's cyclical in nature, and that only works on a flat Earth. That's where we get watches from. And what else we got? Gravity pushes everything inward. According to your religion, everything has some form of gravity attached to it because everything physical has mass. And so everything should just be a ball on your religion. I mean, trees should be balls. We should be balls. And obviously we're not balls and trees are not balls. So this idea, and then looking up at the sky, the moon doesn't even have a specular highlight. Balls that reflect light have something called a specular highlight where the light focuses to one central point. That doesn't happen. Also, you don't see different features on the moon from different locations on Earth, which if the moon was a ball, that would happen. Tom says, I don't know why we don't believe NASA. Well, NASA is literally the word used in the Old Testament when Satan beguiled Eve. The word beguile in Hebrew is NASA, N-A-S-A. So I'm going to show you guys that real quick, and then I'll end. So there you go. You can check it out for yourself. But do your own research, ladies and gentlemen. Don't be deceived by NASA.
All right. Thank you so much, Nathan. Thank you so much, Flaterday Saints. And thank you so much, Amy and TJump. So, ladies and gentlemen, before we kick it into the open discussion, I want to let you know, especially if it's your first time here with us at Modern Day Debate, that we are a neutral platform hosting debates on science, religion, and politics, and we want you to feel welcome no matter what walk of life you're from. And if you have a question or comment for one of tonight's debaters, fire into the old live chat and be sure to tag me at Modern Day Debate. Super chats will go to the top of the list. All we ask is that you keep it civil, attack the argument and not the person, as insults will not be read. And that goes for the general discourse in the live chat as well. Our guests are linked in the description below, whether you're listening on YouTube or via the podcast. So please click their links if you like what you're hearing. And if you hit that subscribe button, we have plenty more live debates coming your way that you don't want to miss, including on the 10th of September at 5 p.m. We have King Crocoduck joining us to have a debate. I'm not sure the name of his interlocutor. I'm so sorry about that, but I didn't have time. Sorry. That happens when I thought that it was 10 p.m. Anyways, we will go ahead and kick it into the open discussion now. 60 minutes at your first word, ladies, gentlemen, peeps. Go ahead.
I just have a question about just dog walking. Did you start in one direction and then go all across the earth and end up on the other side? First of all, impressive. Second of all, hope your dog had water. But yeah, I really want to know.
Well, you said circumnavigation only works on a globe, but I can circumnavigate my neighborhood with my dog, and my neighborhood is not a globe, Amy.
I mean, I agree with the last sentence, but I guess I just want to know if you did circumnavigate the world. You know, you came back the other end. No?
I haven't circumnavigated the earth. It was one of your proofs. Have you circumnavigated the earth?
No, because I trust in science, and this isn't a science debate, even though you may think it is. It's that you guys don't trust science, and we do. That's the point.
That's the name from the tree in the Garden of Eden, actually.
Science deals with cause and effect, Amy. The shape of Earth is not a cause and effect. It's a what is question. So you're right. The shape of the Earth has nothing to do with science.
There we go, ladies and gentlemen.
It's a what is question. Like you don't determine an apple is round or spherical by doing science on the apple. You can just look and observe the apple and conclude that it's spherical.
Do you quite think the Earth might be, I don't know, a little bit bigger?
Yeah, 24,901 miles around, which would necessitate a downward curve of 0.666 feet in all directions, 8 inches times the mileage squared. That's your model. So have you ever gone out and verified Earth curving in all directions, Amy?
I have not.
You have not. See, this is the globe Earth religion, ladies and gentlemen. It's blindly believe everything you're told from the mainstream government and never test anything yourself. How about Tom? You ever left your clam couch?
Can I? Well, no, Tom, answer. But then I want to come back to it.
Tom, you ever left your clam couch and verified Earth curve in all directions?
I'm a NASA employee. I've literally been to space. I've seen it. There you go.
There we go. A real NASA shill.
Hey, not metaphysically or metaphorically or theoretically, but you've literally.
I've been to space.
No.
All right, so Tom's lying. That's a great way to get zero credibility in the debate, Tom. Just so you know.
Hey, I can literally just go to Google and see space right now. Lots of pictures. So I've been to space. There you go.
Hey, so if I were to be able to go on my computer and look at some pornography, would I be being with a woman?
You can look up pictures of Bigfoot. Does that mean Bigfoot's real? You can look up pictures of the Loch Ness Monster. You can look up pictures of Zelda. Does that mean Zelda's real? No. Okay, those
they were actual pictures. Yes.
NASA admits that they're images. They're not even pictures.
They're pictures.
Richard, the guy who did the most famous picture for NASA, the blue marble, admitted he started with a blank circle, and it's photoshopped because it has to be.
No, there are pictures. Famous. Hubble pictures, LIGO pictures, James Webb Telescope pictures. You guys are just nuts.
You can't take pictures from a medium that violates natural law. TJump. Can you have gas pressure? Can you have gas pressure without a container?
Yes.
All right, where? Can you demonstrate it?
Any of the other forces can contain gases without pressure. So there's
Forces
strong
are
force.
Not containers. I asked you to demonstrate.
That was the point. So can you have gases being held together without a container? Yes. Use forces. Forces can do that.
Can you demonstrate it?
Yeah, all of the forces hold gases together, just to different degrees.
I heard you the first time. Can you demonstrate it?
What do you want me to demonstrate? That the strong force is a thing?
No, demonstrate very clearly. I'll speak slowly so you can understand, TJ.
No. So the question was, what do you want
you gotta
me
stop
to
talking
demonstrate?
in order to listen, James. Moderator, he's just interrupting me. I can't even say a word.
He's interrupting me to let me insult him. Let me insult him.
So again, you have to tell me what exactly you want me to demonstrate.
I just want to ask my question again for the third time. Can you show me gas pressure without a container?
Yes, all of the forces do that. It's been proven. Boom! Done.
That's not a demonstration. That's just you babbling.
What you want, like a video of the forces working? Like, guess what? Your hand is made of stuff, and something holds it together, and that same something holds gases together. Oh, man.
My hand isn't a gas. TJump, can you demonstrate for the fourth time?
Forces work on other things too. It's the same force, whether it's a solid or a gas or a liquid, same force. Like ice cubes, they don't like suddenly transition to a new force when they melt.
Solids don't require a container. They hold their shape and they have a fixed volume, according to NASA. This is the phases of matter off the NASA website.
Why?
You got to stop talking while I'm talking. I'll let you talk after, TJump. Don't worry, okay? Liquid. See the underline? Yeah. Takes the shape of its container. Gas takes the shape of its container. Now, for the fifth time, and then I'll stop asking because you obviously can't demonstrate it.
And then,
can you show me gas pressure without a container?
Yes.
Would I be able to show a video in a second? Just a few seconds of like one or two.
All right. TJump said yes. Show me.
Go for it. But yeah, like, so all of those things, like a solid, why does a solid hold its shape? Because it's held together by something, a force, and that force holds all things together. That's why liquids are wet, because of a force. That's why gases move when you like wave your hand through them, because of a force. And so
is that why the planes spray the white trails from that force?
That's like oxygen and carbon dioxide. What? It's water vapor.
I got you.
This is not Star Wars, bro. I know you're trying to use the Force, but can you just show me a demonstration for the 6th time?
Amy can show the videos whenever she wants. Like there are forces, the strong
Yep, I'm gonna
force,
bring that up.
the weak force, the electromagnetic force. Like you understand electricity is a thing, right? And it holds stuff together. That's why magnets work.
None of that is proof you can have gas pressure without a container. So for the 7th time,
Do-
can you demonstrate
No,
gas
that is proof.
pressure
That
without
is
a
proof.
container?
Do forces hold things together? Yes or no?
Can you demonstrate?
Yes, I
what you're
can.
saying?
Yes, I can. Do forces hold things together? Yes or no?
You're asking me questions. That's not proof
Yes.
of anything except that you're
It's not.
ignorant.
Yeah, it's a question. Do forces hold things together?
Can you demonstrate gas
Bro,
pressure?
why are you evading
without
the question? Why
a
can't you answer the question?
container?
Because you just know you're wrong? Do forces.
I've asked you this question 8 times.
And I've
now you're
answered it
asking
8
me
times. I
questions.
said yes. Yes, I can. That is the answer. Yes is the answer. Now your
Okay,
turn.
well, let's see it.
Do forces hold things together? Yes or no?
Well, let's see the
Okay, okay,
the
I'll-
force.
Okay, I
holding
answered your
gas
question.
Let's
without a
Now you
container.
got to answer mine. Do forces hold things together?
Sometimes, sure.
Okay, thank you. So do you acknowledge that there are different forces like strong, weak, electromagnetic? Those forces are real.
So are you going to just keep asking me questions, or are we going to see gas pressure without a container?
Working on it. We're getting there. So do you acknowledge that there are forces like the strong, weak, electromagnetic? Electricity is a force.
All right. So
Particle-
for the audience, I've asked him 10 times, and he can't
That's
demonstrate it.
what the video, we're working on it. The video is getting there. Be patient.
That's not gas pressure in the video, Einstein. That's liquid.
I don't have control over the video. We're working on it.
And I was these 2 videos are just really when you brought up liquid and how it's turning it into a ball.
Oh, it's
that's
not
kinda
no
what it does in
container.
space.
Liquid, no container. Pwn.
No container.
Oh, isn't that gentleman whose wife got shot in the face in Arizona about 10 years ago?
Jesus, I
Let's
don't
all say
even
a moment
know.
a prayer for Gabby Gifford real quick.
Wait. Okay, that was a weird set of jokes. I'm not even sure. I'm sure.
No,
there
I
was a
wasn't joking.
punchline.
I don't think that's a
Absolutely
joke.
what
I think
happened.
it's that
He
wasn't a
really
joke.
does believe someone.
But-
So for the audience, we have not seen a demonstration of gas pressure without a container. What we have seen is the NASA website saying gas pressure requires a container. Now you think Earth's a spinning ball with water contained to it. Can you demonstrate water sticking to the outside of a spinning ball?
Well, that's literally on the screen right there. We can make a spinning ball and then stick water on it. You get that. That's a spinning ball.
Hey, I just wanted to say one thing. The gentleman who was in the picture behind that
Hello,
spinning
everybody.
ball,
Welcome
he has
to
a
Blue Mar-
GoFundMe account for his wife. She had to go through a lot of physical therapy and stuff. So I'm just saying, go fund him. I did.
You funded the NASA astronauts.
No, I sent money to his GoFundMe to help for his wife when she was in the hospital.
I mean, I have no idea if
Okay,
that's
thanks.
true. If it's a good, it sounds like you're a good thing. It almost sounds like you were setting up a joke, but somehow we got the charity. So
Okay, so can we see a demonstration of water sticking to a spinning ball?
That was a spinning ball, and then there was water on it.
That water was sticking to itself, not a spinning ball.
Do you not think there could be a rock inside of that with very little difficulty?
Let's see it.
Can
you
I
demonstrate-
actually?
Can you demonstrate, or am I going to have to ask
Fantastic
10 times again to demonstrate your claim?
Sure. I mean, all of this can be demonstrated. You've actually been shown videos of gas pressure without a container before, so that's been demonstrated to you.
Well, let's see it.
I don't remember where it is. You can ask Red Rhetoric or
I don't
Fight the
remember where
Flatter.
my proof is. Sorry, Mom, my dog ate my proof. Oh, okay, cool story, dude.
Well,
Yeah,
can I
it's a video on
also-
YouTube, so you can find it. It's there. I don't need to give it to you. It's pretty obvious.
Ask
And I also
anybody, Nathan. Ask
just want to
anybody.
point out
Yeah.
that none of you guys will ever do experiments, or at least I'll ask you. If not, an experiment specifically is not just like I went out on a road trip and I put a flag. Like I collected data, I took my methodology and put it on a journal so that other people could take that methodology and try to prove me wrong. Like
An
any of
experiment- An experiment is a hypothesis test. A hypothesis has an independent and dependent variable. It's cause and effect relationships. Yes, I have done tests and observations on the Earth, but I've never experimented on the shape of Earth because the shape of Earth is not a cause and effect relationship. I already went over this. It just, you keep asking for an experiment that doesn't exist because you're scientifically illiterate, Amy.
That sounds like an ad hominem, but okay.
No,
It sounds
that's
like
the
you're a hypocrite. But I
Nope.
love you
So
anyway.
I have personally tested Earth for 5 years using lasers, mirror reflection tests, high power zoom cameras, telescopes. We rented a helicopter and we saw the entire Chicago skyline from Kenosha. And you guys haven't tested Earth once to verify any of your claims.
Can I ask, you say rent it? I've just heard, I was trying to find it, but there's a fantastic Bill Burr, like anti-flat earth streak, because he is a pilot in helicopters. I just want to know if you have any expertise in helicopters.
The Federal Aviation Administration trains pilots on the TGF. It's called the Target Generation Facility. And not only do they train pilots on a
That's
flat,
no.
non-rotating.
Okay.
Oh, you got to interrupt me again. Oh, you don't like hearing the truth. Well, it's all right. I'll continue. Okay.
What does
The
that have to do with the
FAA
question?
trains pilots on a TGF. It's a Target Generation Facility. Not only is it flat and non-rotating, but they negate a gravity vector.
What does that have to do with the question?
She was talking about pilots, and I told him
Yes.
how pilots are trained.
Talking about
can
pilots and then bringing up an irrelevant fact about pilots isn't answering the question.
And you can pronoun me any way you want. I just want to know.
Great,
The
thank you.
answer, once again, was no on the expertise, like in any type of flying or type of
No, I'm not a
aviation.
pilot, Amy. I spent 5 years testing the Earth's surface myself with lasers, mirror reflection tests, high-power zoom cameras, telescopes. We rented a helicopter with a pilot.
I'm sure you did.
Yeah, I did. There's video of it.
I'm sure there is, but I got my
And
answer.
there's-
The answer is
And
no.
there's
No,
zero
no.
video of you or TJump testing the Earth to verify it's a globe, curving in all directions, 0.666 feet.
All right,
We
so,
accept science. You don't. I'm sorry, TJ.
so I want to go back. So forces, you admit forces hold things together, right? So can
The shape of
forces
Earth
hold
has-
gases together?
Can you demonstrate gas pressure without a container? Then
Yes.
I will agree. All right, show me.
You've been shown before. I'll reference the previous videos.
Well, let's show the audience because
No. Wait, you're evading the question. The question was, can forces hold the gases together?
Not without a container.
So why do you think they do hold together? Do you think that if there's no container, they're just going to dissolve to not gases, to plasma?
It's called the second law of thermodynamics, entropy.
What?
Yes. When you put your hand on a hot stove, the heat moves into your hand. When you puncture a car tire, the high pressure air moves from the high pressure to the low pressure. It's called entropy, TJump. That's why you can't demonstrate gas pressure without a container.
So if there's no container, the gas will dissolve into not a gas. Will it stop being a gas?
It will disperse in all directions.
Will it stop being a gas?
No, gas is gas.
So something's holding it together, right? It's got to stay, because if it dissolves to nothingness,
Yeah.
it becomes a plasma or something, right?
Something is called a container. Something is definitely holding it together. It's a container.
So if there's no container,
why
it will
when you
stop
go to pick
being
up
gas.
propane-
That was the question.
So
If
when
there's
you
no
go to pick up
container,
propane, you either buy a container with the propane in it, or you bring
not-
a container.
go back to the question. The question is if it's no container, will it dissolve and stop being gas, or is something holding it together and it will continue to be a gas?
You can't have gas pressure without a container, TJump. Sorry, you're confused about
Okay.
this.
Will
still,
it
but
stop being a gas if there's no container? That's the question.
No, it'll still be gas, TJump.
Okay. How is it still gas? If it's not being held together by something, then it would dissolve into not gas. It would stop being a gas. It would become a plasma. So something has to be holding it together to keep it to be a gas. What is it?
A container. I've said that about 15 times.
No, remember, you just admitted that if there's no container, it will still be a gas, which means something has to
And
hold it
it'll
together.
search for the closest container until it finds it, bro. Come on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Gas pressure is defined by gas pressing against the walls of its container, TJump.
No. So a gas is, you got neutrons and protons and then electrons, right? And they don't fall apart in
The
space.
things you're just saying you've never seen or experienced. You're just saying words that people tell you these little particles are made up of. That you
Yeah, we
can't
can
even-
test those. We can demonstrate those in the lab.
When
I
you say
have
we
demonstrated
haven't
those in the
tested
lab.
it.
Yeah,
Have you tested
those
it?
those are very easy
Yeah,
to
have you
test in
tested
the
that,
lab.
bro?
Yes, those
No,
are very easy.
TJump hasn't tested
Have you
anything. He
tested
doesn't
neural-
Oh,
use it.
literally,
Once
you test this in
again-
college all the time. This stuff is like easy to test. Like, this is like just
Wow, they
basic
taught it to me in
chemistry.
school, so that makes it 100% true.
Yeah,
That's
so
an
novel testable
excellent argument.
predictions. You say novel testable predictions
I mean,
are
why would-
confirmed. Yes, those are very easy to test. I don't know why you don't think. Do you think particles aren't a thing? Is that how far your flat Earth mind goes?
Can you demonstrate gas particles being contained without a container, TJump?
Well, I literally just asked you if there's no container, would they still be a gas? And you said yes. So you just admitted they do.
But it
They'd
wouldn't
still be
be
gas and they'd be seeking the closest container.
Well, that's fine, but so it'd still be a gas, which means something has to hold it together, right? Gas is made of smaller stuff, right? And so if nothing's holding it together, it's going to fall apart to nothingness.
No.
Plasma.
What it does is it leaves wherever it's at without a container and searches for the closest container.
Okay, but I'm not asking about a wall. I'm saying, will the gas remain a gas, or will it fall apart? It has parts, right? There's more
but
stuff.
it won't remain. It won't remain where it was.
I don't care if it remains in a location. My question is will it remain apart, connected?
You're still not demonstrating vacuum without a container with gas pressure, bro.
I'm not trying to. That was never a part of my question. I'm asking you a question. So if gas will remain a gas without a container, why? Why is it remaining a gas? Why doesn't it dissolve into something smaller?
Oh, you're just diffusing the conversation elsewhere. It really doesn't matter what you're asking, because it's almost like a redundancy in what you're saying. So
the fact that you don't understand it doesn't make it irrelevant. Your inability to understand does not make it irrelevant. So if gas, this is very, very basic, like super easy logic that most people understand.
I know you sound really smart.
There's logic. If there's gas that has no container and it doesn't dissolve into nothingness, something else has to be holding it together, keeping it to be a gas. It's called the weak nuclear force.
It seeks its closest container.
No, those are not mutually exclusive, Flaterday. Those are the same. So it doesn't matter if it seeks a container. That's not a force. Why? The question is why does it maintain its gaseous state if there's no container? The answer is the weak nuclear force. It holds it together. So it'll still be a gas.
It's a non sequitur. We're talking.
You said that's my answer. I didn't say that. You did.
That was my answer.
Yeah, but you said it was my answer.
No, your answer saying it will seek a wall is irrelevant. That's not mutually exclusive.
You've already been caught saying two misleading statements.
I didn't say any misleading statement there. So
what were they?
Yeah, what were the misleading statements?
Yeah, you said there's my answer. You know what I mean?
No, my answer, not your answer.
You said you were referring to me though.
No, I said your answer. Your answer was the gas will seek a container.
When you say stuff like "we go to space."
No, your answer. Stop. Your answer was the gas will seek a container. That is dumb. That's irrelevant to anything I said. So
no, actually, it's relevant to the fact that the gas is building up pressure.
No, it's irrelevant to anything I said. I'm the one making a point. What you say doesn't matter here. My question was:
you don't need to stop and ask me questions.
What?
Just make your point.
No, I'm making a point by asking you questions, and you have to answer the questions.
You don't need to ask me questions.
No. The point is to show your ignorance because you don't understand just the basic concepts of just anything. That's the point. The point I'm making is that you can't answer the questions because it leads to contradiction.
You remember stuff and do tests really well, bro. I know, I understand.
And Flaterday Saint, can I address one of your points? Because you said that Santa Claus is the first lie. And I think that TJump and I would almost agree with you with that. We just have a different conclusion. We would say religion is the second lie. Or, well, we're just making a joke.
Religion comes before Santa. People teach us Jesus before Santa. So
okay.
I never was.
Listen, I was just trying to, it's not a real syllogism, but TJump.
I would say that more people are taught the lie about Santa Claus than about Santa Claus and religion. I'd say Santa Claus would be probably 95% of the population, and where religion could be 60% maybe.
Okay, actually, let me modify it. The first lie we figure out after being told, we figure out after the kids on the bus is that Santa Claus is real. And then the second one we learn is that religion is a lie. But I would also say that religion also is tied to flat Earth. I really do want to put an emphasis on that.
Well, that's what you say. I don't believe that to be true whatsoever.
Well, I mean, you are the guy who brought up the Garden of Eden. It's not like TJump and I poked it out of you. You're and then the Garden of... No, that's not religion at all. It's just Adam and Eve. That's I don't know how to tell you this, but that's the bullseye of
tell me this: are your the people who created you? Your mom and dad.
Parents.
Are they your religion? Because they created you?
No, but the fact that Adam and Eve didn't exist is religion, right? That they weren't real. The Garden of Eden didn't happen because it's religion.
You can say whatever you want. It doesn't make any difference. I'm not here to debate any scriptures in or out of the book. People who you say are religious read.
Yeah, none of our proofs where the Bible says the Earth is flat. Your proofs were I learned it in school. So your
But
proofs
very
are a book.
specific. Well, exactly. No, not a book. This is science versus superstition
The
with
word
a
science
sub
comes
thing
from
in religion.
the book.
The shape of Earth has nothing to do with science, Amy. It's a what is question.
Well, there we go. I would say I hate to say that, but that sounds stupid. Like I don't know
That is
any
stupid.
other way. There we go. We have two views there, and
Like
so
I don't.
know what else to say.
Why is the shape of the Earth not a scientific question?
Because it's a what is question.
All science
Science
questions are
deals-
what is questions. Literally
science
every
deals
science question is a
strictly-
what is question.
It's not a why. You did it correctly. Science does what questions, not why. I don't know if you did that purposely or.
So, hey, TJump, real quick, just to clarify the word science. When you say science, it's such a broad assumption of the things you mean. So, what would stop it at the line of not being science anymore? Like, if I were to ask you, like, how much milk should I put in my cereal? Is that no longer science?
Sure, because that's a should question. Should
Like, where would you
questions
draw
would
the
be
line?
like,
Just tell me, where would you
Agreed.
draw the line?
where
You
would
know what
I
I mean?
draw?
Just so I could understand that word, because I don't know what that word means, bro.
Well, science is a methodology to determine facts that correspond to reality. So that's the goal of science. So if you're trying to determine facts that correspond to reality and you're using a method that has specifically been tested in order to differentiate imagination from reality, that's science.
And
Okay,
Flaterday
all
Saint,
I
can
know
I
is
ask
the
you?
first time science was written down was the tree I'm telling you about, and the tree's name was Scientia.
The Adam and Eve was not a true story, and the first use of science was sometime like 2,000-3,000 years ago, or of like a version of science in Latin. I don't know what you're even talking about.
In fact, many pagans knew the world was round. Knew
I
thousands
don't
of
know what
years
that
ago.
means, the pagan. I don't know what that is.
That's a bandwagon fallacy.
That's not a real thing.
I could
How-
also use a
how is that a
bandwagon fallacy.
bandwagon
Remember, a
fallacy?
coin
The
could be
Egyptians,
round
the
too, Amy.
Celts,
Amy,
the
Yes.
a coin
the
is round
Egyptians,
too.
they all knew the Earth was flat. So
A
I can use
coin-
a bandwagon fallacy too, but it wasn't part of my proofs because I don't use fallacies to make my point. You guys do.
Actually, you've used about 10 in the past like 5 sentences.
Oh, really? Well,
Yes.
feel free to point them out, but Amy just used a bandwagon fallacy.
Well,
Amy, I'll ask you the same question I asked TJump 15 times. Can you demonstrate gas pressure without a container?
I can show you scientists that can demonstrate it.
Oh, before we
I don't
go
wanna
any
see a
further,
picture of
I don't think you
scientists.
guys asked me what my pronoun is, so I identify as a flat earther. I'm just saying.
Okay. Is that what you
So,
write
Amy-
on forms when they write, like when
Yep,
the
that's what I
government
write.
says, like it goes
Put
male,
FE,
female, and
apostrophe,
you go flat
lowercase
earther?
er. Flat earther, yeah.
Oh,
That's
I-
what I
I
identify
guarantee-
as.
I guarantee whoever has to read that document just rolls their eyes. Okie dokie. I don't get paid enough for this, but I got health insurance.
I'm
Whatever.
just saying.
Amy, can you show us a
Don't
gas pressure
discriminate.
without a container?
Like I said, I can show you scientists that can demonstrate that because we, TJump and I, refer to scientists. What you were trying, you said bandwagon, I don't think that's a thing, but you were trying to say an appeal to authority fallacy, and we are not appealing to authority fallacy. It's because they are the actual authorities. It's you guys versus physicists, right? And so
Are we going to see a demonstration at some point in this rambling?
It's already been proven. Like whether you reject it is a moot point. So that's already been proven. So you keep asking for like we've already demonstrated this. Problem solved. Next.
are we going to
So,
see a demonstration
I've
of the
asked Amy
flat
3
earth
times.
in this debate?
For the audience, I've asked Amy 3 times for a demonstration of gas pressure without a container and got nothing. And I asked
should
TJump
ask
17 times for a demonstration of gas pressure without a container, and he doesn't have anything either. We've gotten 0 demonstrations so far from the Globers, ladies and gentlemen.
And once again,
Right.
you have to ask ourselves: do you want to believe in
We
science?
never claimed.
or
Well, that
these
was never our
books?
argument. Our argument wasn't that we can show you a video of it. That's already been shown. That's somebody else's argument. So you're addressing a straw man. My argument
Science
that
is-
disproved your nonsense joke of an argument was that does gas maintain gaseous state when there's no container? You said yes. That proves me right.
The
That proves
non
it's being
sequitur.
held together by a force. You're wrong. You've just debunked your own argument. You've just said yes, gas does get held together without a container because it's still a gas when there's no container. Problem solved. Like you've already debunked your own argument.
Nope, you can't demonstrate your argument.
That was never my argument. So I never had the argument.
Your argument is Earth is a ball in space, Einstein. I'm asking you to demonstrate gas pressure without a container because according to you, Earth's atmosphere rests next to a vacuum 10 to the negative 17 torr. but you can't demonstrate it, and neither can your buddy Amy.
Okay, but none of that was any of the arguments I made. So you asked, can gas maintain its gas pressure without a container? And I asked you, does gas maintain being a gas without a container? You said yes. So you admitted, yes, it does.
It's a non sequitur, and no, I didn't.
Yes, you did. You said
No.
Is gas a gas without a container? If there's no container, is it still gas?
Sure, yeah, but it's not pressurized.
Can gas exist with no pressure?
Not pressurized, not without a container, buddy. That's why
Okay,
you can't
literally, you've
demonstrate
just
it.
contradicted yourself. Please
No.
take a second, think through that one. So is gas still a gas without a container? If the answer is either yes and something's holding it together, or no and it stops being a gas, those are your two options. You can't say both. It's a contradiction. It's one of those fallacy things you mentioned earlier.
So you can't demonstrate it. We can move on, ladies and gentlemen.
Whoa!
TJump can't demonstrate
Evasion!
space
Run
is
away!
real.
Run away, Nate!
Neither
Nate's
can
gonna
Amy.
run away from the question, Nate,
All
because
right.
you just got.
If
got
we're gonna move
alone.
on, I think Amy had a question to ask the flat earthers.
Well, I just want to know. I have a pen. Why does it fall?
Well, because the pen is more dense than the medium. Go ahead and drop that pen in a pool. There's a good chance it might float and stop falling. What is that? Water anti-gravity? No, it has to do with the density of the object relative to the medium that it's in.
Or Amy, you could try to drop that pin near a strong magnet and watch it not hit the ground inevitably and stick to that magnet forever.
Also, how come you chose a pen and not a helium balloon?
Because a helium balloon will fight against gravity until it has.
It will fight against gravity. Helium balloon, yeah, it's going to start throwing punches at gravity.
No,
I think
gravity.
gravity
Oh,
out.
in fact,
It's a gunfight.
well, fantastic you bring that up.
The
In fact,
gunslinger.
one of the reasons that I think someone brought up in their opening statement, why aren't we round? And that's because gravity is actually not a strong force until you have large amounts pushing against it. We don't
When
have
you
that.
say it like that, it makes it seem more real. Just letting
Thank
you know.
I think.
I'm just saying, though.
I mean, I'm just agreeing with you.
Mm-hmm.
Mass attracting mass was superseded by Einstein and the theory of relativity. They actually claim it's the bending of space-time. Space is a privation and time is a concept, so it won't affect physical reality.
Hey,
No,
TJump, you think it's possible to actually get to plaid speed?
Plaid.
Yeah, is it possible
There's
to
a
get
joke
to plaid?
coming. There's a joke coming.
No, I'm just wondering if plaid is possible.
What is
What
plaid?
is it? Plaid
Plaid
speed.
is
We
faster
set
than
you
light
up.
speed.
What plaid is what?
Faster than light speed. It's a setting on a Tesla car too.
Oh God. Okay. I
I'm just
don't
wondering.
know what plaid speed is.
Okay.
I don't think it might be possible to get faster than the speed of light. Maybe in the future. I don't. It's based on current physics. No.
The
Wrong
speed of light.
answer. You lose.
Speed of light has never been
You win.
verified. T-Jump.
Wrong
Yes,
answer.
it
You lose.
has. It has
You
multiple
need to go
times.
study TJump.
No, it's not. No, it hasn't.
Mickles and Morley did it, I believe. It's been verified
Michelson
multiple
Morley
ways.
wasn't done in a vacuum 10 to the negative 17 torque.
Why would that need to be? Like, we can test the differences in speed based on different things like water pressure and things, and measure the differences based on how much density of particles there are and calculate the rest. And yes, it has been measured in a vacuum.
So you calculated. Okay, but you never tested it and verified it. You just calculate it. You just do math.
It has been tested in a vacuum, and it is that number, and it can be calculated. That's the same thing.
The strongest
Once
vacuum on
again-
Earth is the Sandusky Research Center. It's not even close to as strong as the vacuum of space. So how could they test it here on Earth in a vacuum when we can't replicate a vacuum of space?
And
Because there's enough space between the particles that it's not going to hit the light to interfere with the speed. That doesn't need to be a perfect vacuum. It just needs to be enough to not have enough particles to diffuse the light.
So you admit we haven't tested it in the vacuum of space.
We've never created a perfect vacuum. No, we don't need to, though.
Well, space isn't even a perfect vacuum, but we've never tested it in the vacuum of space, right?
I have no idea. They may have tested it in one of the space stations.
You have no idea. All right, great.
I don't know.
So-
Yeah, we haven't. Have we been done like a light speed test in space in one of the
I
space
have.
stations? Maybe.
I went plaid.
Maybe. That's a good
And I
proof.
don't know.
Maybe we
is
did it.
Always
That's a
the
good
right
proof,
thing to
T-Jump.
say when you don't know something. In fact, it's silly to just make when you don't know something.
All right. So have you guys ever tested Earth and verified Earth curve?
So just to clarify, we can test the speed of light, and we don't have to test it in space to test the speed of light. We can test the speed of light and know what the speed is without testing it in space. Those are not
What's the speed
mutually
of plaid
exclusive.
then? If you know that, what's the
I don't-
speed of plaid?
Plaid is the shirt color. I have no idea what you're asking.
Are you serious? You think plaid's a shirt color? You don't know anything about
Okay.
science, bro. Seriously? That's one of the first things they teach you in college, bro.
It sounds like
Jeez
you guys are
Louise.
setting up a joke. I feel like it's a
Wow.
flat Earth inside joke that you guys are trying to give.
How do you
Speed
spell
of
plaid?
I think they're just making something up.
PLAID.
Yeah,
Plaid.
that's the shirt color.
Wow.
So do
Wow,
you guys have any
deep.
proof Earth's a globe besides saying all the scientists already proved it and we believe the science?
Well, very specifically, it is scientists versus you guys. So can I ask again, do you have any scientific, or I guess, what else do you have to present for us for a flat Earth? Is there anything? A model? Anything?
Just what our senses tell us, nothing
Fluid
major.
statics.
Plaid is from Spaceballs. Plaid speed is a Spaceballs reference. It's not an actual
I
speed.
knew they were setting up something.
Fluid statics. When water is at rest, the surface is level and horizontal to its container.
We just showed you a video of that not being the case.
That's not water at rest, numpty. That
Yes,
stuff
it
was
is.
moving around. Water at rest means it's not moving.
The ocean is
video you
moving,
showed-
genius. The ocean
the
isn't water
video
at rest.
you showed was
How
not
are you?
water
How are
at
you
rest.
this? At rest means in relation to a specific velocity or direction. Not that there's literally no motion in the water. The ocean is moving. It's at rest, right?
Well, sometimes lakes are at rest and not moving. Sometimes the ocean freezes and it's at rest and not moving. And when it does, you can test it with high-power zoom cameras, lasers, mirror reflection tests.
The water in
telescopes.
the video was at rest. The fact that it wiggles like the ocean does doesn't make it not at rest. The fact that it's just sitting there floating in space at rest.
Yeah, the fact that it's moving doesn't mean it's not at rest. I mean, something can be at rest and moving. Okay, TJump.
Like
That's a
the
good one, bro.
ocean, genius. Congratulations. You've debunked your own position.
Oh, right on.
Also,
So-
can I share the screen again? I just want to, it's changing the topic a little, but it's one of the questions they ask, which is why can't we feel that the Earth is moving? And it's very similar to, first of all, why we don't feel like we're moving on a car, but it's also the combination, and I'm saving the, oh, that's not good. Hold on one second. But this is what is happening. We are moving with the Earth. And so the
That's
water
crazy,
that
man.
is in this bucket does not fall. Why does it not fall? Because it is moving in this orbit.
Is that the same person?
No. My God. Like, dude, is everyone the same person? This guy looks more like Weird Al, like post his little.
I think
remix.
it's the same person on the left and the right in the picture. Yes.
Yes. Like that is like the guy did make a video and then went into post-production and had some non-linear editing skills. Which is, speaking of non-linear editing, I had to put like a little ham on my visual effects.
Is this supposed to be a scientist or a teacher? I mean, he's not the most masculine dude. I'm not gonna probably look up to him as.
Are you gonna date him?
Is that how we rate scientists, by how masculine they are?
Holy moly.
I
Is
hope
Hulk Hogan,
so. You know what I mean?
Hulk Hogan the
I'd hope
greatest
that would be one
scientist
of the
ever?
things.
Is that your metric? Like you're like, oh man, it's a tall, manly guy. This definitely sounds like a flat Earth.
Nah, dude just had like feminine style gestures and stuff. You know what I
And
mean?
also, can I put this? I basically
There are
want to do a
female
bit on this.
scientists, so
Everything that, and no, that's enough. I'll stop sharing. But everything that like guys, especially like homophobic guys, make fun of other guys for being gay, that is almost always what gets you laid. I'm just putting that in there when you wear guy liner and they're like, oh, why you wear it? It's so girly out there. And then the girl's like, are you in a band? But whatever. It's not
It
your
boils down
type.
to this.
You can keep on going.
It's not homophobic. It's depopulation phobic. That's
Instead
all
of-
it is. It boils down to that. You know
I
what mean?
find most homophobic people are homoerotic. I'll let you tie that.
No.
No.
All that
So-
stuff just equals depopulation.
To get back to the topic, ladies and gentlemen, your best proof the Earth is a spinning ball is spinning a bucket around?
No, that was trying to explain why when you're spinning something, the water does not fall out. Why, when you have gravity, you do not fall out. This is why also combined with the fact when you're in a car, you do not feel that the car is moving. You're moving with the car. You're moving with the planet. So when you're like, oh my God, it's so super fast. Do you feel it moving on this really super fast number? No, you're not supposed to. That's the point. That is the point. Continue.
Yeah, but
What if you're in a convertible though? You wouldn't feel the wind then?
What?
If you're in a convertible, you said if you're in a car, cars get a closed container.
Yeah, it's not analogous to the Earth again.
Okay, let's
example.
walk through this. If you're in a convertible, are you suddenly gonna feel like the car is now going?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
If the convertible had no windshield, yeah, absolutely.
The reason is you don't feel yourself going with because you are actually stuck. You're actually stuck to the thing. You understand that? The car. Oh my God. Continue.
No, but you're saying that when we're on Earth with no container, it's the same as being in a car that is like a moving container. If you took away all the outer parts of the car, you'd feel the wind hitting you.
And I'm trying not to have Soros take you out, Nathan. He's been trying, but
yeah, the only way you wouldn't feel movement in a convertible is if the convertible is not moving like the Earth, Amy. So your proof actually helps us, not you.
What? No, you don't feel yourself.
Do you want me to repeat?
Sure, and I think you should do it in your slow voice.
Great. The only way you would not feel movement in a convertible is if the convertible is not moving and stationary like the Earth. So that actually proves our point, not yours. Also,
why would you feel something not moving if it's stationary?
I never said you'd feel it not moving because it's stationary. You're not moving. That's why you would not feel it, Amy. Okay? So you're trying to say you wouldn't feel it if you're in a moving car. If the car was stationary, you would also not feel any movement.
That's true. Cool.
So yeah, that works on both models.
First of all, you're the flat Earth model. I mean, you could have a flat Earth with space, even though you guys don't. We're trying to explain to you why everything is just not at all moments of all time on planet Earth.
No, you can't have a flat Earth with space because on flat Earth, gas requires a container. Check NASA's website. I showed you earlier. I know. Take a deep breath. It's painful.
It is, but I don't think it's for the reasons that you think it is. But I still love you. I actually love debates like these. I want to send love to our interlocutors who, I just haven't seen any good evidence yet.
What about your own senses? Your own senses aren't good enough evidence?
No, that's our point. TJump and I, we think that we want to remove our bias because we just believe in science.
When you're driving on the freeway, you remove your senses too? Or do you need them to survive?
Do you think that's the same situation?
Yeah, they're your senses. What you see,
Yeah, and as humans, seeing is one of our main senses. And when you're on the road, I hope you are using your eyes. But that has nothing to do with a round Earth because, once again, you can't see the curvature because of your scale. You are just looking left, right. But if you went up, you would see. Oh my goodness. I also want to bring this point up. Not only do we have film and live 24/7 ISS.
Is the film
hold on, get into it. But I also want to point out, speaking of not expertise, that neither of these gentlemen have any expertise in film or visual effects, what would make something CGI and what wouldn't. So when they say things like that, they're pulling it out of their butt. In fact, I haven't heard cartoon a lot, but what they don't tend to mention is flat Earth cartoons. They're only flat Earth drawings.
Not true. Every picture you go outside and take is a picture of a flat Earth, Amy.
Even when you take a picture of a sphere, if you take a picture, it's going to be flat because that's what a picture is. But you can see 3D picture. Oh,
So if you take a picture of a basketball, the basketball's going to
wait
be
a second.
flat.
I'm no longer convinced that Nathan and Flaterday Saints are like not flat because I'm looking at my screen. I'm trying to look. Oh man, I don't see them behind the screen. I don't know. I think they're flat. That's all I can see with my senses, right?
Yeah, when you go outside, the Earth is flat. That's what you see. That's what we test, and that's what we verify. But you guys haven't tested anything. For you guys, it's all about belief because that's part of the globe religion. Never question what you're told. Never verify what you're told. Blindly believe what you're told. And then call people who don't believe what you're blindly told names.
No, we went over this last time. We've actually proven it through like ham radios bouncing off the moon, and we debunked you on that. Like, so we've proven the world is
TJump, I have a
round.
question about that. I'm glad you brought that up. Hold on. I have a quick question because you brought that up last time.
Yep.
Just know, Flaterday Saints, when he says we did something, he didn't actually do anything.
I literally
he just
did
sat
that
on his clam couch.
No, I literally did that in college because building a ham radio was part of some of the classes.
Oh, really? Well,
yes.
Let's see it.
How am I supposed to show it to you?
Oh,
back in time?
You didn't document it?
Did I take pictures and video that I can give to you?
I guess we'll just have to take your word for it then, TJump.
No, you could build one yourself and do it yourself. That's what a real experiment is. It's not showing you pictures. It's telling you how to do it yourself.
So TJump, real quick.
You did it. You just don't have any proof.
TJump,
you can verify it yourself.
What
you
what
did
kind
it,
of
you just don't have any proof.
TJump, you said you did the laser experiment where you bounce it off the signal that the astronauts left on the moon, right?
Radio signal, not laser.
Okay, so you were sending radio signals there, right?
Yep.
So okay, my first question is, how could the radio signal hit the reflector on the moon if the moon's continual?
Hold up. So the radio signal hits the moon, the entire the whole thing.
No, I said the reflector on the moon.
The ham radio signals are radar. Radar hits the entire moon, not a reflector.
So it hits the perfect circumference of the moon. It doesn't go any further. Like none's wasted going past the moon.
No, it hits the entire moon and everything else behind it too.
Okay.
So it's a radio signal. Radio, like you turn a radio on and you hear music.
I know, but what I'm wondering is how thick is this signal? Like how far does it span in width?
Well, it depends on your transmitter.
When it hits it.
Huh? Well, it depends on the transmitter you have. Like transmitters have.
I'm talking about the ones you use in your experiment.
I don't remember.
Flaterday Saint, he doesn't have any proof of anything, and I'd really not like to hear TJump just talk more. Okay, so we've already verified.
Nope. So I've already debunked you. I proved it, and you can prove it too. I can
TJump,
give
let me
you
just
the
say one thing real
experiment.
quick is how if the moon is moving overhead.
Just talk from your clam couch.
TJump,
it's not
listen,
proof of anything.
No, I proved it. I did the experiment, and you can
TJump,
too.
listen,
You can be a mature adult and do the experiment too.
Proof.
If the moon's moving overhead and these things don't have a strong enough camera to take an actual picture of the reflector, how are these things able to track that part on the moon and able to move with the moon? They would constantly be having to move with the moon.
It's not about the reflectors are things that NASA bounces lasers off of.
I understand, but you're talking about hitting a moving target though with a radio signal.
Radio signals move at the speed of light.
Okay, how you wouldn't have to adjust it for this for what you're trying to aim at, and how would you even know what you're aiming at if you can't get a picture of it?
You can see it. It's in the sky. It's the moon.
But when you can see the reflectors on the moon?
There's no the reflectors are for lasers. That's different. That is a completely different thing.
So first of all, you said you did an experiment sending a
radio signal.
And I asked you what experiment. Then you said radio signal. So I asked you which one. Now you're bouncing back to laser signal.
No. The reflectors are for the lasers. The reflectors have nothing to do with the radio signals. Reflectors are completely irrelevant. There's no reflectors with radio signals.
The experiment you said you did.
Yes.
You said when you were in, you said everybody does it. When you were in college, you
ham radio.
Signal off the moon.
There's no reflectors. Ham radio bounces off the entire moon.
Okay.
The whole
thing.
So
you've done the experiment, right?
Yes.
Okay. So what if the entire dome above us was solid, right? And the moon was just a light in it. Wouldn't that experiment you get the same results?
No, because then you get the signal wherever you pointed it at any point in time at night, but you only get it when you point it at the moon.
Oh, really? And it's able to track the moon's movement in the sky. You have to have a computer on
pointing.
the
It's
telescope
like
to track it.
you have a scope and you have a transmitter, and you point the scope at the giant white gray thing in the
And
sky.
the moon is constantly moving its position in the sky. You have to
Right.
constantly readjust.
Yes, it does. It's not that hard. It's not moving very fast. You can like just there you go. That's what you're doing. It's pretty easy.
Pretty easy.
Drew,
You don't need,
Drew
you don't
he
need
doesn't
any
have
help.
any proof. He
I
doesn't have
do.
any
I do have proof.
Drew.
I've proven it, and you can too. That's the real proof.
He
Real
doesn't have
proof
any
is
proof.
giving
That's how
you
I
an
know you've never
experiment.
aimed a T-1000 at the
One
sky,
sec.
bro.
One sec.
You constantly have to
Nathan, I
adjust
want
yourself
to
the
help
moon's
Nathan
course.
understand proof because he just doesn't understand it. Proof is a repeatable experiment that you can do in your backyard. Ham radio. Ham means like novice. You can buy one of these or build one on your own. You can point it at the moon and you can turn it on and measure the time it takes for the signal to bounce off the moon. You can do it at different points of.
How do you know it's bouncing off the moon, though?
Well, it's bouncing off something that is in the
Exactly,
general
so it
moon's
could be
direction.
dome or moon.
Wait. So Flaterday, that's a decent question. It doesn't matter what it's bouncing off of because whatever it's bouncing off of is equidistant from the Earth, no matter where you point it from, and it's the same. Takes the same time for the radio signal to bounce off whatever it is and come back. And the only way that's possible is if the world is round. So it doesn't matter if it's a moon or a
Wait,
plate
what?
of cheese.
So a
It's
coin can be
still-
round too, so that doesn't prove your point, bro. You keep saying round.
No.
A coin is round. The clock is round, bro.
Hey,
If-
Flaterday.
No.
He wants us to go get his proof. He's like,
I
you
know,
could do it.
dude.
You could
No,
build
I've
this.
done
You
it,
could do it in
and
your
you
backyard.
can
You
too.
could buy one.
So that's what I'm
Hey,
asking you. I'm
TJump,
asking you
it's your
specifically
proof,
about your
not
moon
ours.
laser experiment.
Yes, it's
TJump,
an
it's your proof,
experiment
not ours.
anybody can
So
do.
It's your
Okay,
job
so
to do it.
I just
No,
want to hear.
you're the ones who
you
doubt it.
say
You
that
have to
you're
do it.
able.
Yeah,
You're able to
exactly.
track the moon and follow the moon with the telescope without it hooked up to a computer, so it tracks it digitally. You say it's just barely
Normally
moves, so you're able to
we
do it on
hook
your
it up to
own.
a computer, but I wanted to answer your question about the dome thing. So like,
So you've never done that experiment because you don't even know what you're talking about as far as like
No.
using a telescope to track the moon.
yes, you can
The bounce off the moon,
telescope.
bro.
Yes, you can. It's not a telescope. It's a scope. It's not a telescope. It's just like a gun
okay.
scope. You put it on top of a
Yeah.
transmitter because the moon's
Uh-huh.
really big in the sky. It's very easy to point it at the moon. But
Yeah.
you asked, how do we know that the world that it's round? Well, if the moon was like here, it's closer to this side of the phone than to this side, and so the distance from a radio signal from here would be shorter than the distance from a radio signal from here. But if the radio signal is the same, no matter where it is in the sky, the only way that's possible if it's on a curved surface.
Bro,
That
I
way
bet
it's
my
the
life,
same.
I promise you, you've never met another man that knows the true shape of the earth, bro, ever.
I've
You
met
never
many of
will.
them.
Not true. Yeah,
Okay,
but I
bro.
just want to
True.
point out the reason why we keep on saying that they need a model is because they are going up against mainstream science. They are going up against physicists, and so actually, when they say, "Should we be doing your job?" We don't have a job. We are accepting science. You have a job. You need to go out there and actually do the experiments. I would love to know if any of you have actually done the
I was trying to
shadow.
ask TJump questions about it, and he couldn't even answer my question
Well,
about his
the
experiment.
reason that you keep on doing that and not answering questions is because you don't have a model. And so I'm going to keep on putting that focus. Have either of you, when it was done thousands of years ago, it was about 100 miles apart. In fact, can I, I'm going to share my screen just one more time. And I would
Amy,
just
what you just
love-
said contradicted itself. You said it was a fact that they were 100 miles apart, and then you said it was about this many miles. So you said in one sentence you said it was a fact, and the other one you were saying it was an estimate.
the two cities. They
Yeah,
were two
it's
cities
just a little
apart.
double
We
speak.
know where the cities are. They are ancient.
And then you're saying we again. Like I don't agree with anything
No,
you're saying.
when
I'm not
I
saying
say
that.
we, when TJump says we mean science, because it's not about us. It's not about our feelings. We have opinions on whether chocolate and vanilla ice cream is good. We do not have feelings on whether the speed of light is something different. I'm not like, hey, TJump, how do you feel about the speed of light? That's not how it works.
Amy, sorry if you think I'm working with feelings. I know my voice keeps rising,
Actually, let me
getting
make
lower
sure.
and quieter when I'm talking. I'm sorry. I don't mean
You're
to be
okay.
theatrical.
And I don't.
I'm
Oh,
sorry.
that did the flashy thing again. I just want to double. It's like a USB. I just want to make sure I'm sharing sound. Do it twice. Okay. And
Thanks
there
for
we go.
addressing everything I've said, Amy. Also, I appreciate that.
Absolutely. No, I take down. I love notes. I love listening to what you guys say.
Of ancient Egypt, I've inserted 2 sticks or obelisks, one up here in Alexandria and one down here in Syene. Now, if at a certain moment each stick casts no shadow at all, that's perfectly easy to understand, provided the Earth is flat. If the shadow at Syene is at a certain length, and the shadow at Alexandria is the same length, that also makes sense on a flat Earth. But how could it be, Eratosthenes asked, that at the same instant there was no shadow at Syene and a very substantial shadow at Alexandria? The only answer was that the surface of the Earth was perfect.
There we go. And so, I mean, the floor is back over to you guys.
Hey,
Yeah.
that's who you picked as your example?
Carl
Neil deGrasse
Sagan?
Tyson
Neil
says
gnarly,
that works
dude.
on both models.
Did you just say? Listen, ladies and gentlemen, I do have to do a PSA, just a very quick PSA. Fund public education. If you don't think that's important on the voter education system, do it. Do it now. But yes, we are.
So are you
talking
spreading your
about
political
shadows.
views, or is this part of the debate?
My political is fun. You're like taking a joke too serious. Well, maybe they should take it seriously. Anyway, shadows. Should we be have you actually gone and done that experiment? Because it's something you can actually do.
You haven't.
Once again, we believe scientists.
We
You
believe
don't.
stories that we're
You
told.
go, huh? You just believe that? Someone else gave it to you. Did you do that yourself? Nah, brah. You didn't go to the moon, therefore no moon. I love you.
Nope, nobody said that. All right, so we haven't got a demonstration of gas pressure without a container. Amy and TJump admitted they haven't tested Earth and verified it curves.
No,
Has
I said I did
Amy-
test it, Pwned, and we have demonstrated gas without a container. You've been shown multiple times in multiple videos, and you showed water without a container at rest, and it's not in a container. Pwned.
At rest, but moving.
It's at rest, yes. Just like the ocean is at rest, but moving. Like the ocean, yes. And every body of water, which is at rest, but moving. Water, I hate to break this to you, but water doesn't ever stop moving. No particles do, because that would be absolute zero.
A swimming pool can't be completely stationary.
Nope.
What about water when it's frozen?
Still moving. Particles are always moving.
How do you know that? If it's frozen, how do you know?
Because it's not at absolute zero.
How do you know that?
How do I know it's not at absolute zero?
Yeah.
All right.
It's a hypothetical. That's the hypothetical. Okay.
So
well, no, I mean, like we
we haven't got
can't
a
get to absolute
demonstration.
zero. To get to absolute zero, it would take like infinite amount of energy. Like you can't.
Sounds like a conspiracy theory to me.
That things can't get to absolute zero. How is that a conspiracy theory?
Wow, that sounds a little cultish, bro. I'm just saying though.
That things can't get to absolute zero.
Yeah, it sounds religious-y.
How?
Okay, we got about 5 minutes left, guys.
Yeah,
so real quick, just want to recap. We have not got a demonstration on this debate of gas pressure without a container. We have not got a demonstration of TJump or Amy verifying Earth curves, although TJump did tell us a very cool story about when he was back in college. He just can't prove it. Now, have either of you verified the Earth moving 1,000 miles an hour at the equator? And if so, how?
It's again, silly question. We're going to keep on it. When you asked, did we personally do said experiment when we are not the ones proposing something that is going against what every physicist says? That is, I'm trying really hard not to say stupid.
I want to.
Very silly.
Let's do a recap. So
every physicist does not say that because
that's true. The 2 PhDs you found, I had that written down too. Those 2 guys that I guarantee you probably had like degrees in, fiction writing. Fantastic.
One of those guys.
Oh, like a space communicator?
One of those guys was a real female.
Neil deGrasse Tyson is a physicist, like who you name checked. I think Carl Sagan was a physicist as well.
So is Michelle Fowler.
People get
Neil Tyson is an astrophysicist. There's a difference.
And a space
communicator. That's a subtle difference, but I mean, fantastic. Yes, that is.
Well, I want to recap the flat earthers arguments here. Like, so they don't understand that a thing is a gas, even if it's not a container, but then it somehow can't be a gas anymore. So Nathan just admitted that even without a container, a gas is a gas, but somehow nothing can hold it together. but it maintains its gaseous state for some reason. Magic, I'm guessing it's magic.
Yeah,
We
it
gave
just
a
doesn't
demonstration of
maintain its
water
gas
at
pressure.
rest, floating
No, it
in a
doesn't maintain
ball.
its state. It doesn't maintain its state. It doesn't stay in the
doesn't.
same place, bro.
Yeah, it
State-
doesn't
state-
maintain its
container.
gas pressure.
State means like water, gas, liquid. It does maintain its state. You admit
Oh,
it
so
maintains
you're
its
saying
state.
it doesn't matter if that thing's moving or not?
No, it doesn't. Why would it matter if it's moving? If a rock is moving, it's still a rock. If an ocean is moving, it's still an ocean. If gas is moving, it's still a gas.
Yeah, but it's not contained. It's not pressurized.
Why is it still a gas?
That's
But
non
it's not
sequitur.
contained.
You can't have
That means it has a
pressure.
pressure. If
The
it's gas,
question
it has a
was,
pressure.
can
The
you
pressure can't be
demonstrate
zero.
Gas pressure without a container, not
No.
can you demonstrate gas?
I just did. So if it's still a gas, that means
Say
it has a
non-sequitur.
pressure because the particles are tied together. The electrons are tied to the neutrons and protons, which means it has a pressure. It's still a gas. Something's holding it
Gas-
together. That's a pressure. No container, it's still
pressure
gas.
is defined-
Pressure. You got
Gas
pwned.
pressure
You got
is
pwned,
defined
Nathan.
as gas bouncing off pressing against the walls of its container. So
No,
gas
it's
without
not.
a container would not have gas pressure.
No, that's
You
not
can't
how gas
demonstrate.
pressure is defined. You better look up basic science of astrophysics, bro.
Astrophysics. All right. So have you
Yes.
verified Earth moves, Amy, or TJump?
Yes. I've
All right,
verified
I'm
all the
good.
things you've said, and I've told you how I verified them, and I've proved them. And you said, "Well, I didn't give you a video, therefore
And
it's
can I-
fake news, bro."
Yeah, you haven't shown us
So-
anything. So,
But I
how
gave
have
you something
verified
better.
the
You see,
Earth moving?
anyone who's not a moron understands that if I give you a way you can test it yourself, that's better. It's better.
TJump.
Better.
You have 3 minutes left, T-Jump, and you haven't shown anything. So
I've
I'm
shown
giving
everything.
you-
You
I've
never
debunked
answered my
you. You've
question
been
of what
debunked.
type of equipment you're using to track
Moderator,
the
I've
moon.
already
He
debunked you,
talks. He
Nathan.
just
Flaterday,
talks
what
over me the whole
Flaterday,
time.
what did you want?
My question was, what type of equipment are you using when you did the experiment where you bounced signals off of the moon?
Oh gosh,
A
you still
ham
wanna hear
radio.
about the
You have to
story?
Google the specifics. You can
Oh, no, I just want to know specifically what you used. I
right.
don't know
So,
about
so you
anything
can.
else.
It's on Google. There's actually a list of what you need to
Is
build
it a
one of
link to
these.
you doing the experiment? All
No,
I care
because
about
I
is
don't
you
have a
doing the
video
experiment.
of me doing the experiment. You don't need a video of me
Okay,
doing the
then just give me
experiment.
the ingredients of what you're using,
Right,
basically.
that's
And
what I'm just
I-
listing. So you can go to Google, look up what it takes to build a ham radio, look up the energy it takes to bounce off a moon
Okay,
and receive
so
a signal. You can build
I
it
just
yourself.
debunked you. You said you guys do the experiments and we
Right.
don't. But I'm
I
asking
don't
you,
need to
your
remember all of the
experiment.
details of the experiment, bro.
Then
You
why
can
did you
go
bring it up?
online
Why
and
did you
check
bring
the
it up?
Your proof.
details
It's your
yourself.
proof. I don't need to go find your proof, bro.
Yeah,
no,
bro.
no. This
Point
is
they do it
you
in
can test it.
undergrad. That's what he's saying. Is the teachers actually make students do the experiment. You can prove this yourself. You can go to a physicist. But I want to know. I want to know big picture with you
You guys
guys.
are just gonna. You guys are just not gonna answer my
No,
question.
we
of what
answered
equipment you use?
and
All right, cool.
answered.
No,
It's this
I told you
faux
the
version
answer.
of skepticism.
No, you didn't give me any answer of
No,
equipment. You
I
said
don't
for me
need to
Google it,
memorize
bro.
all of the facts. I can say here is a reference where you can find all of the facts
You're the
yourself.
one bringing it up, though. You're bringing that.
I don't
proof up.
need
That's
to
what I'm asking
memorize
you.
all of the facts to bring up the facts. I
Then
can
you
say,
shouldn't
guess
have
what?
brought it up then, bro.
Here's what
You shouldn't have
happened.
brought
And
it
if
up.
you want to know the specifics, here's a reference. You can
shouldn't have
do all
brought
of
it
it
up then if
yourself.
you can't prove it.
That's called evidence. Evidence is here's the general fact, and here's how you can reproduce it specifically. Go
No,
Google
you
it.
said you
There
did
go.
something. You should be. If you're saying that you did this experiment, you should be able to tell me exactly what it
No,
was.
no,
That's
I
all
don't
wanna
need to
know.
memorize all the
There's
facts. You're
one more
confused.
minute.
Wow.
I wanna know big picture.
Subterfuge, bro.
Big
Classic.
picture.
You're
Okay,
real
like
classic, TJump.
speaking of just politics, the liberals and conservatives can't agree on anything. The political parties are all this divided. Everyone's fighting. But the one thing they seem to be holding back on is the secret conspiracy that the Earth is round. Help me out here. Why?
Like a coin.
Why would they lie to you about the shape of the
You
Earth?
keep saying the word "we" and "round," Amy.
Yes. Are you going to answer? Anybody?
Yeah. So
You
a
want me
coin
to
can be round.
divine? I don't. I can't divine other people's thoughts, but they do get $60 million a day through NASA. They also hide the creator. They also make everyone afraid to die so that they'll cover their face. Because the
Religion?
news said, "Boo, air is scary." So now
We
that
never
have
talked
not
about
got a
Christianity.
demonstration- in this debate, we have not got a demonstration of gas pressure without a container. You guys have not
Yes, you
shown
did.
us verification that the Earth curves in all directions. And
Yes, we
have you
did.
guys done any
And
tests
TJump,
that
you didn't
can
tell me
show
what
us?
equipment you use either in that
I
experiment.
don't need to
Are
tell
there
you what
any
equipment I
tests
used.
that
I
show
used
us to
a
prove
ham
Earth
radio.
moves?
That's I used a ham radio. That's the equipment I used. Problem
You
solved.
shot a ham radio at the moon. That doesn't have anything to do with Earth's surface, Einstein.
Wow, I literally explained this. Like if you shoot a ham radio at an
Time
object in
for
the
open
distance
discussion.
and the distance
Oh,
is the same,
more
then guess
talking.
what? It has to be round.
Okay, but you don't have proof
Yeah, a
of it,
coin
right?
can be
I
round
do
too,
I do
though,
have proof
dude.
of it.
Oh
A
yeah,
coin
I'll
can
go
be
get your
round.
proof.
TJump.
That's called a burden of proof reversal fallacy.
No,
And
it's
if we
not.
don't have
Saying
real
I have
thing.
proof isn't a burden of proof reversal fallacy. Learn.
We don't have any proof the Earth rotates.
I do.
Excellent.
We do have proof of that
Okay,
too.
what is it?
We. I
Yes,
said
all
we
of the
again.
sciences.
What is it?
There's lots of proof that the Earth rotates. The Coriolis effect, the fact we've been to space and we can see it, the fact that satellites work and GPS works, lots of things. The little laser gyroscopes that used on ships, that proves it. There's lots of proofs of it.
The ring laser
The big
gyroscope.
pendulum thing at the top of the world, I forget what it's called, that proves it.
The ring laser gyroscope was developed by Sagnac.
I don't care who
said-
developed it. It proves the world is spinning. Bone,
All
bro.
And I just
All right,
want to
so
point
that's the
out
end
He
of
said
our
it was
opening.
he said it was the rotational
Yes.
vortex of the ether, not the Earth spinning.
Okay, so that's the end of our open discussion, guys. So let's go ahead and go to the Q&A. Want to let you guys know, if you have a question or comment for one of tonight's debaters, fire into the old live chat and tag me at Modern Day Debate. Super chats go to the top of the list. We still have some room in the super chat list, so if you want to make sure that your comment or question gets read, go ahead and fire it in and make sure it's a super chat. We will go ahead and get that started. And make sure that if you liked what you've heard from any of our debaters, their links are in the description below. So let me go ahead and start with our first question. That is from, oh wait, let me start the timer. Almost forgot about that. Yep. Okay. From Cameron Hall for $2. Can Flurfs explain how the tides work?
I haven't tested the tides personally, so I'm not going to make any claims about them.
I think there's a vortex of water in the middle of the Earth, in the very center at the North Pole, and it affects the tides all around the Earth, like waves rippling out from a pool. That's just my opinion.
And the Great Lakes don't have tides. So the moon, if it's pulling large bodies of the ocean towards it, it would also affect classes of water, swimming pools, and the Great Lakes, but it doesn't.
Gotcha. And
Can I
from
just
Dwayne
quote a
Burke-
philosopher?
The question was for me, Amy, not for you. Nobody wants to hear you talk
Can I
anymore.
just quote a
Next question.
philosopher? Tides go in,
Let's
tides
let
go
them have
out.
Moderator,
final
next
word.
question. The question wasn't for Amy.
We'll have to let them have the last word.
Yeah, I'm running out of battery here. I'm trying to get through the questions for the audience. If people want to hear you talk, Amy, they'll ask you a question.
The Great Lakes do have tides, by the way.
Oh,
Yeah.
just more talking, but no proof.
Changes
Amy,
in the water
go
level
ahead and
caused by
let them have the
gravitational
last word
forces of
real
the sun
quick.
and moon do occur in the semi-durational twice daily pattern in the Great Lakes. Pound!
Amy, go ahead.
Well, no, I just wanted to make a joke. I wasn't trying to get a point. I was just trying to once again quote the great philosopher Bill O'Reilly. But all theirs.
All right. Well, okay. From Kango44 for $5 New Zealand. For Nathan, do you do TJump's radar experiment yet? Did you do TJump's radar experiment yet? I guess not, as you have no interest in actually learning anything.
Yeah, who won't even say the equipment that he uses?
Right.
Yeah,
because I
I've been
can't-
too busy testing the Earth's surface to shoot radio waves at the moon and pretend that proves something about Earth's surface. Next question.
So that's a no. He's afraid
Got
to do
it.
it because it's going to
The
debunk his
question was for me,
worldview.
T-Jump, not for you. If they want to hear you talk, they'll ask you a question.
From Dune Alm for $2 Canadian for the Flat Earthers. How do you explain sunsets?
That's very simple. The sun sometimes is moving towards you, and that's called a sunrise. And then sometimes it's moving away from you, and it gets far enough you can't see it. It's called a sunset. Next question.
Gotcha. From Kango44 for 50 Smackers New Zealand. They say, Nathan, you can lie to yourself all you want, but there are many, many live feeds from space. Himari 8 is not NASA, and it's live. The 2022 Tonga eruptions was captured live by it from space. Please explain how a live eruption was faked.
Well, they could do that from high altitude balloons or airplanes. They don't need to be in space to record a volcano from above the volcano. Next question.
Gotcha. From Tim Pryor for $20. They say, Nathan, until you can name one field of science that agrees with you or one scientist, then you should not mention science at all.
It's not a question. Next question.
I agree with him. That's the name of the tree in the Garden of Eden. So probably better not to mention Scientia.
From Tim Pryor for $5, they say, Nathan really needs to learn the difference between gas pressure and atmospheric pressure.
The atmosphere is comprised of gas. So the atmospheric pressure is gas pressure. Next question.
Without a container.
According
Sunflower for $10. They say TJump. Gas particles spontaneously disperse via entropy. It's called diffusion. The weak nuclear force has nothing to do with gas pressure. Holding gas particles together doesn't cause gas pressure.
Yes, it does. Literally, it does. And they don't spontaneously diffuse in a vacuum. There is gas in a vacuum. We have made vacuums, and the gases are still gases of the vacuums.
Don't shoot the messenger. Obi-Wan for $10. They say, Nathan, the only experiment you ever did had you in a chicken suit, and you believed everything because your own bias wanted to. Nothing you say is true. None of your experiments are real. Are you still there, Nathan?
Oh, Storos might have got to him. He's telling us to shut it down. No.
His mic is still there because that's that sound.
He probably did it because he was drunk and he needed rent money. You know what I mean? He knew that.
That wasn't my experiment, by the way. I didn't do that experiment. I was just there. I got invited. I got flown out to LA, and they lied to me and said they were Harvard students because Globers love lying. Just like TJump said he went to space. Next question.
Into space. We're technically all in space right now.
That's true.
Yeah, we are.
Space is a vacuum, numpty. Next question. Why are these guys talking? No one's asking them any questions.
Got pwned. Space.
For
We're
Mark
not in
Reed
space.
for $5. They say, Nathan, if time is a concept, then how do we measure time through the decay of atoms in an atomic clock? Time and measurements of time aren't the same.
Well, time. I've never measured atoms with decay, so cool. If that's your proof of time, I mean, we're here to debate the shape of the Earth. That question has nothing to do with what we're talking about.
Gotcha. From Dwayne Burke for £1.79. They say, rumor has it T-Jump's chair can be seen from space.
True facts. We're in space and we can see it. Therefore, it's true.
That's from Made by Jim Bob for $1.99. They say, Amy, the bucket has a bottom that contains the water.
Wait, I'm sorry. Yeah. Can you read that one more time?
Yeah. The bucket has a bottom that contains the water.
Oh, the bucket. He's saying that the bottom of the whole point is that it's getting turned upside down, though. Yes, it's true that when you have a bucket of water, the bottom is 100% why it is not going everywhere. But the question is, when you turn it upside down, why doesn't it fall? And that is because of this trickle. It's the force that you are generating here. It's the same things happening with our orbit around the sun.
Gotcha. From somebody with the name UH for $2. Amy and Tom, if Earth round, then why there still Earth?
Yo. Boom.
I don't understand the question.
I think I swear, that's more of I think that's from someone who supports us. That's kind of like if there is, Americans, or why is there still Europe? It's because we often get asked this from creationists. So it's like, I think they're making
To be fair,
fun of.
I'm sorry. To be fair, they said, why is there still Earth? When they said if Earth round, my brain just automatically left the Y's out of there. I'm sorry.
If Earth round,
then why is there still Earth?
why is there still Earth? Like I said, if it's not a joke because one doesn't exclude the other, I don't know.
Got it. From Sunflower for $10. They say, TJump, Google gas pressure. No, wait, I did it for you. Quote, gas pressure is the name given to the force exerted by gas particles colliding with the wall of the container.
No, it's not. It says the surfaces of objects, which includes other particles. So gas pressure can be pressure against other particles of gas. You read it wrong. Google it again.
And 100% sending love out there. I see in chat it was Udolph was making a joke. He is totally a skeptic. non-believer and all that. So it was a creationist joke. Sending love out there, right back to you.
Got it. From Obi-Wan for $10, they say, Nathan, thanks, Bob. You've seen gas pressure without a container. Tomahawk nuclear reactor, but gas pressure is not the same as atmospheric pressure. But even in a container, there is a pressure gradient. Let me unmute him, sorry. Oh, and we lost him.
Is it Tomahawk or Tokamak?
It's Tomahawk is what he wrote, so I just assumed it was Tomahawk. Sorry.
Tokamak is it's a nuclear reactor.
Tokamak.
Tokamak. Tokamak.
All right. Got it. Learned something new.
Which is my spiritual name. Talk a lot of Mac.
Nathan, did you hear any of that?
No, I didn't.
No. Nathan, thanks, Bob. You've seen gas pressure without a container, the Tokamak nuclear reactor, but gas pressure is not the same as atmospheric pressure. But even in a container, there is a pressure gradient.
What kind of disproves your entire argument in like 3 different ways. So just saying K is a bad look.
Question wasn't for you, Tom. If there was a question, let me know, moderator. It didn't sound like there was a question.
Got it. From Jim Bob for $1.99, they say, TJump, I have that chair too. Mine is still white.
They don't come in white. This is suede.
Ooh.
Suede is not white.
Shots fired. Diana Bender for $5, they say, Flaterday, why did you bring up depopulation? Isn't that a QAnon conspiracy theory? Are you a follower of QAnon?
I don't know what she's referring to. I've never heard of that, such a thing as that. I don't follow anybody though. I don't follow anybody. I just follow and trust my own senses.
Gotcha.
Like the same senses you use when you're driving down the freeway.
We are flying through these. Oh my god.
Mm-hmm.
Where are we? From Extra J for $5, they say, Nathan, so other than being confused with everything about the globe, what is your evidence for flat Earth?
Large bodies of water do not curve. It's called fluid statics. When at rest, the surface of water is level and horizontal to its container. We also see way too far with high-power zoom cameras and telescopes. We have things like the geographic range table from the U.S. Coast Guard, which lists distances things can be observable at sea level. We also have the black swan, which verifies that the horizon is not the geometric edge of the Earth. And I could keep going, but let's just end it there. Specular reflections prove that when you see a perfect mirror reflection off the surface of water, the water is not curving in all directions. So there's lots of proof. Good question.
Got it. From Jeremy Jutia for $1.99, they say, for the flat earthers, do vacuums pull or does pressure push?
Pressure pushes.
Got it. From Jeremy Jutia for $4.99, they say, since we know pressure pushes, vacuums don't pull. The reason our atmosphere doesn't blow into space is because the particles run out of energy.
Particles run out of energy. Oh, they get tired. All right, that's a cool story.
Got it. For $2 from Neat Freak at the Flat Earthers. Why do stars rotate opposite at the poles?
That doesn't even happen on a globe. A globe moving in one direction would have stars also moving one direction. So what you're seeing is apparent, not actual. I've done over 100 star trail videos. I've never met a glober who's even done one. But also we have astroarchaeology. I took the picture of the Georgia Guidestones with all the stars circling a hole that was put there 40 years ago. And you guys say we're following the sun 500,000 miles an hour. What a joke.
Got it. It's a Rubik's for $2. They say, TJump, you excited for the Artemis launch Monday?
I guess so.
Not so much. And that is all of our super chats right now. We will go ahead and go to our non-super chats. But if you do have a super chat, go ahead and send it in, and it will be read immediately. And we will go on and go ahead until we run out of time or until one of our guests have to leave. From Bale Diablo, do flat earthers even understand righty-tighty, lefty-loosey?
Yes, we
They
do.
Got it. From Something Slicks, can I ask the flat earthers to clarify where they got the name of the tree of knowledge in Eden from?
Lost books from the Bible, books that have been taken out. Do the research yourself. It didn't come to me easy.
Are you a Gnostic?
Are you speaking to me?
Yeah.
I don't understand the word in which you just described.
There are Gnostic texts outside of the Bible. Just sounded like you were hinting at maybe something else.
I've never heard that word before.
Hey. Hopefully I can open up a whole nother subject.
Probably not. I'm pretty closed off to almost everything that you guys are into. But thank you.
You said it, not me, but cool.
Yeah.
Got it. From Bitter Truth for $10, they say, Earth is flat in the Bible. That's why people say that. But is there scientific evidence? Is there any scientist who would say that in 2022? Or Nathan, you are stuck because of the Bible?
No, none of my proofs were Bible. You guys keep bringing up the Bible. I haven't said Bible once, so get over it, bro. I know you hate God and you hate his word, but that's not my problem. It's yours.
Oh, you see that at the very end, though? It's about his word.
Got it. From Jeremy Jutia for $4.99, they say, Nathan, particles get tired? Do you think energy/pressure is infinite, or does pressure decrease over time/distance?
Gas particles move in all directions. They're omnidirectional, even at Earth's surface where gravity is allegedly the strongest. So you're going to pretend that gravity contains all the particles of gas to Earth adjacent to a vacuum. Well, you've got a problem. Where gravity is the strongest, it doesn't contain it. The gas moves in all directions. So pretty simple.
Gotcha. From Mike Obar, they ask, why can't Polaris be seen in the southern hemisphere? Why can't Polaris be seen in the southern hemisphere? Is the Earth is flat?
Well,
If the
because
Earth is flat.
Polaris-
If the Earth is flat, that's what they're saying.
Polaris is located above polar center. So the farther you go outward from polar center, you're going to have perspective and refraction. Also, you could have topography on the ground obstructing your view as things in the sky move towards the horizon. There's lots of reasons. So the fact we have a Polaris proves we're not on a spinning ball blasting through space, chasing a sun 500,000 miles an hour. Thanks for bringing that up. Appreciate it, Glover.
Gotcha. From Steven for $1.99, they say, Roger Spur at Mud Fossil University smashes Globers. Gotcha. Astronaut 66, they say, how far around the flat Earth equator?
I don't know. I haven't measured it.
From Obi-Wan for $5, they say, for Flaterday Saints, stop saying that BS. From the Latin word scientia, meaning knowledge, awareness, understanding, end quote.
I want to make a comment on the Roger Spur thing. Like, I tried to do a quick just Google, and there was nobody. And so if he is smashing Globers, he must be doing it very quietly. And so I would love to know more about him, and specifically also what his degree is in, and what he is doing with it to show that there is a flat Earth. But my favorite joke is, I bet he's smashing Globers all around the Earth.
Got it. And Flaterday Saints, did you want to respond to that comment about scientia?
Yeah, so that's the tree's name.
Got it.
I was named Bob.
That's what I thought too.
And then from Bitter Truth for $5, they say, Nathan, what is quantum physics? Just checking how much you know. Explain quantum fluctuation.
Now, I'm not an expert at quantum physics or quantum fluctuation. I am an expert on testing Earth myself and verifying it's not a globe curving in all directions. I did it for 5 years, and I also ran the largest research group in human history, where you were only allowed to post firsthand evidence, and we didn't allow cursing and insults, and the group still got deleted.
Got it. From Jeremy Jutia for $4.99, they say, Flurfs, I worked in Antarctica for 6 months and saw 24 hours of daylight. At the same time, my friend at Prudhoe Bay, Alaska, saw 24 hours of darkness. How?
Well, that's a cool story, but I've ran the largest flat Earth group in human history, and there were no videos of 24-hour sun in the south, but there were thousands of videos of 24-hour sun in the north. I find that very interesting. So, cool story, Glober.
Got it. From It's a Rubik's question for Nathan. You say you have never seen the curve, so you can't believe it. Have you seen God?
The creator? No, but I've seen proof of the creator, the creation. So, and I don't need to believe in curvature. Okay. I've tested and verified the earth is not curving downward in all directions, tangent to our feet. So the fact you're still using the B word, it's just cult rhetoric. You're still stuck in cult of beliefism and scientism. It's not reality.
Got it. From Sandals, they ask, when you fart, where is the farts container?
Well, it moves in all directions because it's not contained.
Uncontained farts. From Korag Nightwolf, they say, flat earther, if you hold a half full water bottle away from you and start spinning, the water in the bottle will stick to the side of the bottle depending on where you hold it, right?
True. Yes, that's correct.
Got it. My name, my last name. Question. What's underneath the underside of the flat earth model?
We get this question every debate. Globers still haven't figured out that the deepest hole dug is 8 miles. It's called the Koala Super Deep Borehole. And other than that, we have no idea. What I know is that the center of Earth is not hotter than the surface of the sun, because that would violate the second law of thermodynamics. Next question.
From Karigi Pasnips. Sorry if I'm mispronouncing that. Why do you need to prove gas pressure without a container?
Because the globe earthers assert that we're in a vacuum of space, and you can't have gas pressure resting next to a vacuum without a container. It's on the NASA's website. I showed it earlier.
Can I ask just how Nathan thinks that air is like sticking to the planet? Because that tends to be a little gaseous.
Yeah, because we have a firmament overhead. That's the container. Sun, moon, stars are all locked in it.
Firmament?
Bubble
Yeah.
world.
It's a dome. That's why we have sundogs and halos and Sprite. That's why we have sundogs, halos, sprites,
Love that
thunder.
game.
You can't contain yourself.
I can't help myself. I really can't. But I love you, Nathan. I do want to let you have as much time as you want to make as much of your points as you want.
We cannot be contained. Bitter truth for $5. They say, Nathan, if you don't know physics, how can you prove flat Earth?
Well, you don't need to know physics to grab a camera and go outside. I said I'm not an expert in quantum physics. There's a difference. Physics has to do with our physical reality. So, for example, large bodies of water do not curve. It's a property of fluid statics. I mean, I'm a broken record over here, but the surface of water at rest is level and horizontal to its container. Thanks, Cass. Next question.
Gotcha. From Mark Sabali for $5, they say, question for Nathan. Why do we see Polaris on the horizon when standing at the equator and right above the North Pole? How do you explain the 90-degree difference?
Yeah, it's called perspective. As you move farther away, things above your head will move towards the horizon. The fact we have Polaris, a stationary pole star, debunks the heliocentric model that we're chasing a sun 500,000 miles an hour through space. Good question, brother.
Gotcha.
I love when Glovers debunk themselves with their own questions.
From Kingo44 from $5 New Zealand, they say for Nathan, I run the world's largest. They say Nathan, I run the world's largest The Sky is Green Facebook group. There are 2 people in it. So that proves something?
Yeah, it proves you're a troll.
Well, can I just ask in between, why is it that when we
No, you can't. You can
You
super
can't?
chat. Go ahead, super chat your question.
Kaz, please, could I ask? And he could just ignore
Yeah, go ahead. We
I
have
just want to put it.
we're at the end of our list, so go ahead.
Well, I just want to know why it seems like boats just seems to disappear as they go over the horizon. It looks like they're dipping, and it's not just that they're getting smaller, which is what you would expect in a flat Earth.
Kaz, can I share my screen?
Yep. Real quick.
Great, thank you. Are you guys seeing this?
The not porn folder. I'm
Yeah.
just teasing you.
I don't watch porn. I haven't watched porn in like 3 years. That's for globeheads. And it's also gay to watch porn.
It's gay to watch porn. I don't even know what I can say about that statement. I hope you find your file.
Maybe I should read another question while you're looking for it.
Yeah, go for it, bro.
Kango44 for $5 New Zealand. They say, Nathan, you're a thermodynamics expert. Please give us a quick explanation of Maxwell's demon.
What do you say, Maxwell's what?
Maxwell's demon.
Maxwell's demon? I'm not familiar with it, but here's a video. Boats not disappearing over the curve of the Earth. When you zoom in, they're still there. Now we're going to zoom out here in a second, and you're not going to see that buoy or that boat because of perspective. There you go. You can't see the boat. You can't see the buoy. Globers will assert that it went over the curve of the Earth, but no, it didn't. It's right there. Next question.
Okay. Did get a couple more in. From Jeremy Jutia for $1.99. They say, Nathan, when can we debate? Official call out. LOL.
I don't debate no names. If you want to pay my fee, that's cool. flatearthflyers@gmail.com.
From Lone Shadow for $2 Canadian. They say, how far does light travel?
I don't know. I haven't tested it. Has anyone here tested it? No. Next question.
From Bitter Truth for $5. They say, Nathan, if Earth is flat, there should be the end where water falling somewhere. Can you explain where's Earth's end where we can even call fall?
I don't know if you guys have realized this, but water falls off of balls, okay? Not flat dinner plates. The highest median elevation for any continent is Antarctica. So the Earth is a giant container, kind of like Amy's bucket.
Got it. From Neat Freak for $2. They say, Nathan, I love your take on porn. Props, brother.
Much love, bro.
Got it. From Random, they say, question for TJump. If the ham radio experiment is so easy, shouldn't you have gotten it ready for the debate? That's your job.
Yeah, buddy!
Not tell others to find your proof.
Flat tards don't understand that you can do the experiment yourself. That's all I need to show. If you can do it and you don't, that means just you're lazy. Problem solved. So since anybody can do the experiment, you can go to your backyard, build it yourself, and you don't, proves they're debunked.
Anybody can reverse the burden of proof. It's easy. They're just sit on my clam couch and say things.
Experiment. It's been done. Proved you wrong. You won't do it. You're debunked.
And Nathan, that's our point.
You're debunked. Debunked.
Nathan, that is also our point. Because you don't actually take on any burden of proof, you never actually answer why you think it is a flat Earth or why you think physicists should take you seriously. So when you try to shrug the burden of proof, remember that was your entire point in this debate.
No, not at all. I've tested Earth myself. I showed you star trails around the Georgia Guidestones. I took that video myself. So I don't know what you're talking about. The only person who hasn't done anything themselves is you and Clam Couch over here.
Once again, that is sightseeing as a tourist. That's not an experiment. An experiment is where you do a test and have a methodology which you record the results and can get that tested in a journal by peers.
I never said Star
In case
Trails
you
was an
didn't know.
experiment. Star Trails
TJump,
is an
would you like to have the last
observation.
word there?
What Nathan was debunked like a while ago. Like we debunked him like every way possible. We showed him water at rest. That's a ball just floating, and he just doesn't believe it. So I don't know why he's like saying, "Oh, why don't you provide a video of you doing it?" Because he's clearly going to believe that, right? No. So I give
Yeah.
him real evidence. I say, "Here's something you can test on your own and prove to yourself that your silly flat Earth model is wrong." And he just doesn't do it for some reason. I don't know. Might be a bias. Doesn't
Okay.
want to
For
check
the-
it himself.
But water wasn't at
For the
rest.
flurfs, do vacuums suck from pressurized areas, or do pressurized areas blow into vacuums?
We went over that. Pressurized areas blow into vacuums.
Got it. It's a
That
Rubik's.
debunks his whole world. So that's kind of the point.
The question wasn't for you, TJump. Keep quiet. Maybe go on mute.
You got debunked.
Oh, pwned. Yep, go on mute. Nobody's even talking to you, bro.
You got pwned by your own
Okay.
answer. It's hilarious.
Close your clam mouth.
Close your flat mouth. God.
Okay, it's a Rubik's debate. Oh, I'm sorry. TJump, are you excited about the Artemis? Oh, we already read that. Okay. For the flat earthers, from Bael Diablo, which color crayon? Sorry, I shouldn't have read that. Sorry.
Sorry, the
Bruno
answer is
Fernandez.
purple.
The question was which color crayon tastes best. He answered purple.
Yep, I know. It was purple.
Okay.
Yeah.
If Nathan is so proud of testing, I'm sorry, from Bruno Fernandez. If Nathan is so proud of testing stuff himself, why does he refuse to do the radio wave test that TJump proposes?
Pwned. Pwned. God, it's so pwned.
Because shooting radio waves at the moon is not the best way to test Earth's surface. When we all walk around on Earth's surface and you can clearly observe Earth's surface, you don't even have to look at the moon to determine what the Earth's surface is. You could just test Earth's surface, which is what I did for 5 years with lasers, mirror reflection tests, high power zoom cameras, and telescopes.
So he's
Can I
lazy.
ask
4 minutes.
I just want to
4 minutes to get your super chats in. 4 minutes to
just
get your
wanna
super chats in.
Oh, I'm sorry, guys.
No, go ahead.
I just wanted to know if either of you guys had like a way to falsify. Like, what do you think you would look outside to see if it was around Earth? Do you just expect that like you go outside and it's just like a constant like whoa?
No, falsification is independent of replacement.
Yeah, you would see Earth curving in all directions, but we don't because we have specular reflections that show large bodies of water at rest are perfect mirrors. The only way that works is if the surface is flat.
Okay. I'm not sure if this is the name. Master Optics or Master of Ticks. I'm so sorry. It says, and why does pressure... I can't. I'm sorry. A firmament would make it the same pressure everywhere. I'm sorry. I don't know if a part of this got cut off or not.
Oh, it's fine. Yeah, he doesn't understand that fluid statics, again, states why we have different pressure gradients in Earth's atmosphere. It's very similar to when you dive deep in the ocean, there's more pressure. That's because there's more water above your head. So the closer you are to Earth's surface, the more air is above your head. I mean, I can't believe you got to explain this stuff to people in 2022. But yeah, so there's more air above your head at Earth's surface. That's why there's more pressure at Earth's surface. And then when you go up in altitude, there's less air above your head. Rocket surgery. Oh my gosh.
Bitter Truth for $5. They say, Nathan, I heard you talk about thermodynamics. Can you explain what is that?
Yeah, high pressure systems move towards low pressure systems. For example, when you put your hand on a hot stove and your hand is not scorching hot, the heat will move from the stove to your hand and you will get burned. If you pop a car tire and the car tire has air pressure in it, the air pressure will move towards less pressure. So it goes. Psss. Got it?
Gotcha. From Harry P. Ness, praise God for $2. They say no clams for Nathan. He's been kicked off Tinder.
That's fine. Clams are an unclean animal, anyways. I don't want to eat unclean animals.
From Quantum Degreaser for $10, they say I got 2 samples of lake surface a mile apart. Compared side by side, they were level on my table. One should have been 8 inches lower if globe. Flat Earth proven. Right, Nathan? What say you, brother?
Yeah, they'll say boats disappear away from you, but the horizon from left to right is a completely straight line. They forget that globes curve in all directions, not just away from you. Yeah.
Gotcha. From East Fremantle. Nathan, why can't I not perceive I am moving in an airplane at a constant 600 miles per hour? Would
Again,
this be
you're
the same sensation we feel with the rotation of the Earth at 1,000 miles per hour?
again, the airplane is a closed container. If you take the roof off the airplane, you would most certainly feel you going 600 miles an hour.
Gotcha. It's a Rubik's. They say, Nathan, haven't many of your experiments shown the curvature and spinning nature of the Earth?
No, unfortunately, I have never proven Earth spins or that Earth is curving in all directions. If it were, I wouldn't be here debating for a flat Earth.
Gotcha. Finally, a question for the Globers. Why was the moon's shadow only 70 miles wide during 2017's eclipse?
Because light bends.
The bending of light. Can you demonstrate it?
Yes, Einstein did. He measured the bending of light around the sun. That's how he proved his theory of general relativity.
I said,
In fact-
can you demonstrate it? And he says, yes. Einstein. Okay,
Yes.
that's
So how science and experiments work is one person does it, and then they tell you the way that you can do it. So I can repeat the experiment and do it myself, and anybody can. That's kind of the point. I don't think you understand this. That's why I told you you could build a ham radio and prove to yourself the world is round. But you're like, nah.
No more
Okay,
questions.
And I just want to add in one last thing because it is true that we now have general and special relativity, but that doesn't actually circumvent classical Newtonian physics any more than quantum mechanics would circumvent it on the small scale. What we have is 3 different ways of understanding things. A ball is still going to go through the air and it's going to fall. If you want to shoot a cannonball, you still need to understand classical Newtonian physics. It is only once you get gigantic scales that general relativity is actually starting to take over. That is when it leaves. You take that instead. So that is just my point. And yes, and the theory of everything, it's a bad name, but trying to understand general relativity with quantum mechanics, because the large and the small is also something we really don't understand quite yet. And just putting that on there.
Really quick.
Sounds like some spirit cooking to me.
Bruno Fernandez wanted me to let you know, Amy, that you did a really good job with your introduction. Bitter Truth for $5. Really quick wanted me to say, Nathan, they're really enjoying that you're a scientist, and when are you supposed to debate Neil deGrasse Tyson? And Sunflower, who's a member for 13 months, says, TJump, you don't know what grass pressure is. And with that, we will end our Q&A. No more questions, ladies and gentlemen. That is it. The clock is over and done with. Thank you so much for all of your questions. You guys have really contributed to the discussion in an invaluable way. Obi-Wan for $10. Okay, I'm gonna read this last one because $10 super chat. But seriously, no more. Wait at the edge. How much air is above your head? Since the dome is much closer, so wouldn't air pressure drop as you move out towards the edge? Pwned.
Yeah, that could actually be why you weigh less at the equator than you do at the North Pole or towards the North Pole. It's actually pretty interesting, but I've never been to the edge. I've never seen the edge. I don't even know if there is an edge. So hope that answers your question, bud.
Got it. Oh, man. So, Amy, you're doing a live after show?
Yes, sir. That is right. We're doing a live open mic after show. We do not care if you are atheist, theist, liberal, or conservative, flat earther, round. Come as you are, as we say on our show, just not on the sheets. So sending love. Come to our after show. And I just want to thank Flaterday Saints and Nathan Thomson. You guys were a lot of fun. And I just want to especially send love to TJump for all of the great, being a great debate partner.
Yeah, you were a great moderator, Kaz. By the way, thanks for moderating.
Yeah, Kaz, awesome job.
Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it. Amy, if you want to send me that link, and I will put it in the description
Absolutely.
if it's not there already. I don't think it is. I'm not sure though. Anyways, I will put that after show link in the description as soon as I get it. Otherwise, thank you all so much for being here. I really do appreciate it. You guys are the lifeblood of the show. I want to thank all the moderators in the chat for keeping the discussion civil and respectful. Thank everybody in the audience for being here and elevating the conversation. Thank you to James for creating this platform and giving us a place to debate and discuss all these things. This was all very fun. There is the link right there. Give me 1 second. I'm just going to copy and paste this. 1 second. So sorry. I'm just going to throw it in there under Amy's name, and then I'll put it somewhere nice and neat later. Good. Okay, so that's there. And with that, we will be closing it out. So once again, I just want to say, like it if you loved it, share it if you want to spread it, and subscribe as we have many more juicy debates coming your way. That debate on the 10th of September is going to be King Crocoduck versus David McQueen. I figured that out later on. So you don't want to miss that, ladies and gentlemen. So come subscribe, see that later on. And our debaters are linked in the description below. If you like what you heard, check them out. Thank you, everyone. Have a great night. And remember, keep sifting out the reasonable from the unreasonable. Have a great night.